All right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safer Liquid Beer for the podcast.
Be right again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
It's the 6 o'clock check-in. Come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's about to start AM radio.
It's the Cool Bed Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tune in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
.04 on a Tuesday morning, and Houston, we have a problem. The Edmonton Oilers lose twice to the Calgary Flames last night. Is this team ever going to figure it out? Scalding Gord is already in to the Paris Jewelers inbox this morning. He's not messing around. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. He says Oilers D-, the position and the grade. Oh boy. Panic is starting to settle in the morning after a split squad loss to the Calgary Flames.
Only thing I'm pulling away is in our group chat, I heard Josh Brown, an aircraft carrier. And maybe is that the only thing I need to kind of pull away from?
It was a tough night for Josh Brown in the Edmonton Sports Talk group chat. I think we can just say that. The Oilers lose 6-3 at home, and they lose 6-1 on the road. It is nice to know they appear to be a better home team than a road team, and it's time to cut a few guys. But we'll get into that as we work our way through the show. I will say Josh Brown's agent pulling off a 3-year deal is probably the most incredible move of the offseason. I don't understand why that guy got any more than 1 year. It doesn't make sense. But still, brilliant job by him, and congratulations to his agent on all the success. But him and Stetcher both were not good last night. And we'll get into it. It's one. I never want to, and maybe this isn't how it should be, but you don't want to get too hyped up for the good performances in the preseason. But it's different for the bad performances in the preseason, isn't it? Like, these guys are supposed to look better than they did last night.
At least on home ice. Well, you want to kind of put up for the fan base, eh?
It's
wave going on.
Did we get a preseason wave?
Reports of a wave.
A preseason wave?
Reports of a wave. To let the Flames know that, we don't care. You know,
in a 6-3 loss, there was a wave last night? You know what? I'm going to let it slide. It's a preseason.
If I didn't see it, didn't happen, right? It's preseason.
I'm going to doubt that a preseason while you're losing wave happened with a sparse crowd. I mean, I can't technically see that happening. Please confirm or deny these accusations this morning. 780-218-9999. That is where you can get in. It is the Paris Jewelers inbox. Family owned and operated, 22 stores in 4 provinces across the country. Flexible payment options, including do not pay for 1 year. Never going to complain about that. Shop in store or online at www.parisjewelers.com. We'll get to some of your text messages as we work our way through the show this morning. Surveyor Brett says, "Hallood."
Hallood.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Get the boys over there.
Oh, the guys. Yeah. It's,
The guys.
You want to grab them, Trev? Yeah. I totally forgot our boys today. We'll have to set them up. I've got McDavid screaming from the Amazon Prime show. So we can definitely work this into some clips today. I don't know why we wouldn't if you missed this. This is not after yesterday losing in the preseason. I'll tell you that. This is coming up on that Prime show. Listen to how angry he was during the Stanley Cup final.
That's not good enough. The finals. Dig in.
That's not good enough. It's the finals. Dig in.
It's a hell of a recording, hey?
So I've shortened it a bit.
Only the best.
I took out the finals part and went like this.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
That's not good enough. Dig in. For example, right now, us forgetting to put the Tombstone Funko Pops on the desk before Tombstone Tuesday begins.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
So send us your "That's not good enough" dig in text messages to 780-218-9999.
A Russian spa guy wants to know how much blame is on Nurse and Cece for last night's crucial losses.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
Zing, zing.
Yeah, that's not good enough. Dig in. This was me to Zacticum after his rap performance with Clausen at the Estes.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
Just kidding. I love Zacticum's performance at the Estes. It was terrific. So that could be how you win text of the day today. Who knows? That's not good enough. Dig
It's
in.
the preseason dig in.
Yeah.
Commence from red.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that we can get to. The look, Trey Ford against the Bombers.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
Trevor Lawrence.
Me watching the Monday Nighter last night.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
It really hits with that opening sound, that boom.
Yeah.
Like it really tones things down a lot. You know, it's kind of bad.
Nacho Man is in and says, "When I leave a half pudding cup on the table." Because you could dig back in.
Dig in.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
Yeah. All right. Keep those coming in. 780-218-9999. Somebody has texted in. They don't put their name on it. To be honest with you, if I was confirming this, I wouldn't put my name on it either. So I totally understand where you're coming from. But there was indeed a wave in the third period last night.
Huh?
All right. You know
Well-
what? You know what? If you're paying to watch preseason hockey,
Get it out of the
do
system.
whatever the hell you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
And people know I'm kind of anti-wave in certain situations, but a preseason wave has no implications.
It's for the kids.
Who cares? Yeah, it should be for the kids, but a lot of adults really enjoy getting the wave going. The wave is for kids and drunk adults. That's kind of what the wave has sort of. That's who starts waves. You know, I don't know if a sober adult has ever started a wave. They'll take part in it, but I don't know if they've ever started it.
It's the Predator meme. You know?
Yeah,
Drunk adults, kids, the wave.
never seen Predator. So I don't really get the
Confession, 740.
Yeah,
Hey, yeah.
740. I got.
Never seen the original Predator, the one
No, I haven't
you
seen it.
slack jawed
No, I don't. I know none of it. I have not seen this. I'm not familiar with it at all.
sexual tyrannosaur.
Nope. Sounds hilarious, but I've never seen it. Will Fraser to people with their headlights off.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
This is a good one.
Andrea leaving an entire plate of fries on her plate last night, devouring the loaded burger at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
Those are good fries.
They're the best
too.
fries.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
I love this one. A potato farmer when he pulls up only 2 potatoes.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
We've hit it.
That one actually works. I can't believe your name's not on that. I'll write that down. That could be it's really funny because you have to dig. So that works. That's not good enough. Yeah. Dig. That's not good enough. Dig back in. All right. Keep those. Library Pat. Library Pat gets it. Dusty to coaches calling bonehead short yardage plays.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
Don't get started on that again. Yeah.
Timber Woodsman, I mean, we don't want to overreact today, but Timber Woodsman's in and says the cup window is officially closed. It was fun while it lasted. Begin the sell-off. Makes sense. Teef. Me Still trying to make pancakes for my Costco mix.
That's not good enough. Dave,
It's a nice way to set the tone today. Paris Jewelers inbox is going to take a pounding. One of your "That's Not Good Enough" dig in texts is going to win text of the day today. Text of the day will get you that gift certificate to A&W. A&W is collabing with Ruffles to bring you the Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. It's a fight for me every day to not go have one of these. I want one every single day.
We have a window, hey?
God, they're absolutely
After the show,
delicious. I know.
You hit the lock shop, there's that and they
like
serve
that
them. They got them going.
I know.
Yeah.
I've had one at like 10:30 in the morning.
It's the best.
God, not all heroes wear capes, but some of them do have Ruffles Crunch Teen Burgers between the hours of 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. It's your favorite teen burger with your favorite Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips combined into one unique taste. Try it in all its teen burger glory or crunch into its equally tasty sidekick, the Ruffles Crunch Buddy Burger, for just $4.99. Try one today at your neighborhood A&W. Dusty to Tommy when he designs shoes.
that's not good enough. Dave,
Of course, that is from the biggest upset in fashion history,
Oh,
where I designed better shoes.
Amos Moses blaming Tommy the Wrench last night. Quote, Oilers will blow them away. If you're going to the rink tonight, just sit back and enjoy the show.
Tommy actually said that.
A
somewhere?
birthday proclamation. He's got it in quotes here, Amos. I doubt he's...
Hey, Tommy, with your preseason predictions.
that's not good enough. Dave,
All right. Keep those coming in. I love it. This is going to be a fun day. Nielsen Show today and every single day, presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Real nice Photoshops they did up of us for the Oktoberfest celebration.
Really capturing the spirit of the thing, hey?
I think they did.
Yeah.
This is on October 4th, which is actually just next Friday. Next Friday, join us. We'll be on location all day, 6 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. South Fort Chevrolet, where if you come on out and you want to trade in your vehicle, they're going to give you an extra $1,000 in credit on your trade-in just because you listen to the show.
One Jordan Roddy reached out to me yesterday. You know, the accordion man, hey?
No.
For my wedding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he's going to come by?
Well, maybe.
Oktoberfest.
I'll give him like $10.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, you get a little music. I don't know if they have a entertainment plan.
Claire, let us know if you have a accordion player already booked.
We got a guy.
If not, we'll get one. Drive a little, save a lot. Go see Daniel and his family-friendly team at South Fort Chev. Tell them we sent you. You get that additional $1,000 on your trade-in, and they won't be beaten on any price. So if you find a better price somewhere else, just go back. They'll beat it. Simple as that. They'll beat it. Done and done. Food, drinks, giveaways, exclusive sales and deals throughout the day. And they're partnering with a few local businesses for Oktoberfest vibes all day long. So that's going to be a good day. We're very much looking forward to that. We'll lay out the show for you today. Lots of text messages flying in. This is a good one. Kind of ties in. Calgary fans to their new arena construction site.
that's not good enough. Dave,
God, Fergie's prostate so dark.
Well, we have one about like mining minerals in the Congo for phones.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's just,
That's a good one.
Yeah, this is
A
going on.
mortician to the cemetery workers who prepare the graves.
that's not good enough. Dave,
Kevin Zick. Josh Clausen to himself when trying to win text of the day yesterday.
that's not good enough. Dave,
Hey, did you sleep well last night, YouTube Trev, after robbing Josh Clausen of a text of the day because you hold a grudge over a wind debate from months ago?
I slept like a baby.
You did, hey?
I did.
Wow, you're a cold-blooded killer.
Yeah. You know what? No, I did feel bad. I'm a good guy, and I had a hard time falling asleep, not gonna lie.
Your reputation as a good guy took a hit yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I was getting some texts about it. Some people were saying, yeah, I'm a savage. I'm not a savage. I feel bad.
Oh, and some news as well this morning. I think they will
Break
get
Well,
this.
yeah, this is big news.
Dun, 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 dun.
6:45 today, YouTube Trev
Dun, dun,
has
dun.
an announcement on his future. This is big.
This is big.
Are you sure you're ready for this?
No.
I didn't think so. 6:45 today. You're not going to want to go anywhere. YouTube Trev
And nothing to do with living accommodations.
has an
We already know
announcement.
that.
No, we
right?
already
Like,
know.
that's-
We already
that.
know he's growing up. But what's the announcement? What's the announcement today? We'll find out. 6:45 this morning. Castor 1990. over on the nasty chat today. Joaquin Gage to the EST staff for not saving him an A&W burger.
That's not good enough. Dave,
VR Montenegro, who was out at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge last night, me to my doctor when he says that the blood work screen will catch any prostate issues.
that's not good enough. Dave,
Whee!
Oh, VR. That's a good one.
Real good.
That's a good one. This might be the busiest text morning in the history of the Paris Jewelers inbox since we launched on EST.
Totally forgot they lost both games last night. But
Yeah, well, that's
this
what
is a
we're
good
doing. We're
rinser.
trying
It's
to
a cleanser.
distract you.
Yeah,
We're trying to distract you. Now, are we going to talk about the blue line a little bit? Yeah, we're going to talk about the blue line a little bit. But we're trying to distract you.
It's preseason.
Right? We're going to get into the Monday nighters. The Elks will return to practice today. Who's taking first team reps? We'll get into that as we work our way through the show
Do
today
we need
as well.
to tell anybody? Eh?
I mean, we'll find out. We will find out today. Speaking of VR Montenegro, what a nice little presentation last night.
Very
Rip
emotional
City
night.
Step.
Yeah, emotional night down Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. 2 games last night, and Veer Montenegro giving Rip City Step that text of the great
An emotional
presentation.
moment.
Yeah,
An
they
emotional
had the
moment.
award there, a little bling from Paris Jewelers as well.
Very nice bracelet.
Rip looking like Dak Prescott there accepting his award, but it was an all night. A few people from the public not knowing what's going on, but a good round of applause and all double digits, I think, in a crowd cheering Rip City Step on. So it was good. VR was a little nervous for the speech. He didn't have one prepared, but I think it all came off pretty good. So congratulations to Rip.
Yeah, that's our texter of the year this year. Rip City Step. Accepting the award last night. It is nice when AM Nasty kind of takes over a place and there's just some randos there who are like, who's this guy getting presented with this moderately sized trophy?
Got the banner up and everything.
Yeah.
You can have your horse races.
Oh, Trev, you have to remind me, I still have your a Rookie of the Year winning card from the Estes. It's in my vehicle. I got to bring that in for it. The kids. Did you give that to my mom too? Or did the kids have it maybe?
I think
They might have had it, yeah. So anyway, I got it for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get it all. It's a PSA. It's about an 8.5. It's gonna be a PSA 8.5. But we'll get it slabbed as we work our way.
Frame that one.
Yeah, you should frame that one, especially with that announcement coming in the future here. All right, we'll get to your morning announcements coming up. If you watched either or both, if you're a freak, if you watched both split squad games last night, share your thoughts with us. 780-218-9999.
If you went to both split squads, hey, how about
Man,
that? You
now
try
that's a
one
commitment.
first period, go down to the help on the old PJ and head down.
Yeah. No, if you know what? If you watched the first 5 minutes in Edmonton and then drove as fast as you possibly could you have made the last 5 minutes in Calgary? I don't think so. I don't think you could have pulled that off.
Danny Austin talking about the construction, probably.
Well, that's the last thing you want.
Construction, isn't it?
Last night, that's what happens when you build a rink, you idiots. Yeah. We'll get to your morning announcements coming up. 6:30 today. That hurts. If you were watching football last night, you know where I'm going for that hurts today. We got to get into that. 6:45 today. Trev with a major announcement on his future. We'll go there just after 7 o'clock this morning. Oilers blue line issues. Do they have them? Da-da-da-da. We'll get to that. We'll have your Cool Bet Early Bird Parlay. Dave Naylor is going to join us just after 7:30. He was in Buffalo last night. We'll talk Josh Allen. We'll talk Trevor Lawrence. We'll get his thoughts on Jaden Daniels. What a stud that guy looks to be.
Great numbers.
Weekly confessions for Spectrum Rental. I kind of have a bit of a sad confession today. 7:45 today. So I saw something in...
More sad than the Predator one, hey?
If you can believe this, I saw something in a 7-Eleven since last week that made me sad. Does that ever happen to you guys where you go into 7-Eleven to get like a Slurpee or something and you come out and you're just so sad?
I usually come out being sad.
At
when I go-
7-Eleven?
Yes.
Yeah, that's understandable, especially with that big announcement today. Kind of easy trivia from Mr. Mike's. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. We'll dive into the Week 4 waiver wire. I can't believe we're already heading into Week 4 in the NFL. This
So they
schedule's
always say,
flying
can
by.
you believe it? Yeah.
My goodness. We'll head into that waiver wire for South Fort Chevrolet. Gage will pop by just after 8:30. We'll talk some Formula One. We'll get his thoughts on some of the preseason action last night as well, plus the wrap for William Huff. So we do have a busy show to get to today, plus all of your text messages on that McDavid clip. But let's get into your morning announcements today for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Yukon and McCord every single morning, and the lovely Jess Jackson on the way home in the afternoons. I spent about an hour and a half at the place we used to work yesterday trying to get, they migrated to a different email setup, and I had to go over there yesterday. I called one guy by the wrong name.
And not just...
No, I called a guy whose name is Joey. I called him Tony. That was a tough look. And in the end, he's the guy who saved the day for me. He's the guy who walked me through things.
Love Tony.
God, I'm sitting there yesterday, and
you typing, trying to figure out that password.
I'm trying to. First of all, I had to re-guess my own password, and I got it, which was incredible. I mean, that alone deserves some sort of award. And then I had to figure out, once I got into the old computer system over there, I was like, well, how do I get on my phone? And then I call up Tony. Turns out his name's Joey, and he looks at me and he's like,
That's not good enough. Dig in.
that's not good enough, man. Dig in. You're calling me by the wrong name. Anyway, super nice guy. Ended up helping me out. Now I could get my my TSN email on my phone again. So, phew. But it's weird going to a place that you worked at.
An hour and a half.
But yeah, it's weird going to a place that you worked at for like 14 years, and you hadn't been there in a while, and you have to be there for an hour and a half. Like it's a little strange. It's a little strange. I mean, it's kind of a ghost town over there anyway. I only saw like 4 people, including Tony and Joey, really. Yeah, but it was still weird. What do they say? It's like Buckner walking back into Shea. Isn't that what they say or something like that? Morning announcements. Evander Kane out 5 to 6 months.
Buckler walking back into...
Did I say Buckler?
No, but...
Buckner. Yeah. Evander Kane out 5 to 6 months. We said this in August. We were basically kind of told back then that it was going to be a long, long, long time. I saw some people along the way speculate that it was going to be, 6 to 8 weeks, but there's no way. When do you think we see Evander Kane again?
2025.
Oh, 100% 2025.
That's what I'll guess.
Do we see him on the ice for the Oilers before the trade deadline? If it's 5 to 6 months, let's just say it's a full 6 months. If the recovery takes a full 6 months,
February.
The end of October is 1 month. The end of November is 2 months. The end of December is 3 months. The end of January is 4 months. The end of February is 5 months. The end of March, like March 24th, would be 6 months. That's, what's that, 2 weeks before the season ends?
Minimum.
If that's, did it say minimum?
Expected to take a minimum of 5 to 6 months to recover. And he's not a young buck anymore. I mean, he's a lot of tough miles on that odometer.
I'm not sure when we see him again. Like, I don't think he'll be on the ice before March. I could be wrong, but I don't think he'll be on the ice before March. And you know what this leads to? It leads to the excellent, they don't need to pick up anybody at the deadline because they got that self-rental
coming.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
That'll be a big one, I think. So that was news that kind of broke yesterday, but we kind of already knew. But he's going to be out for like half of a calendar year. So we'll keep tabs on that one. Buffalo Bills crushing the Jags. And that hurts coming up. We'll save the Trevor Lawrence discussion for that. But what about as a Bills fan? How impressed were you with what they rolled out last night?
It's one of those, it's a comfortable, the comfortable, you're sitting there, the first half for crying out loud, right? I mean, Cook got the touchdown. Cha-ching. Shakir played, 10 different receivers getting involved with that offense. Brady's cooking. It's a beautiful thing. And I know the Jags, I mean, it's now, I mentioned to you, Trevor Lawrence joining Jim Plunkett in NFL history now. 2 0-8 skids to start the career. It's trouble down there, but for the Bills, I mentioned, flying under the radar, Mr. Overrated himself, Josh Allen.
Great first half.
Getting a cascade of MVP chance last night. DeMar Hamlin as well, a great story there, getting his first INT, like all around. And then Mac Jones coming in. To quote Rip City Step, down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Pretty sure Nathan Rourke could have done that. on the Mac Jones fumble. Like, it was a great night. It was one of those nights where he put in cruise control. I mean, again, first half, 4 touchdowns. You kidding me?
This is just trending towards, I mean, with the way the
Best team in the AFC.
But this is what's happening right now. The Chiefs are 3-0. The Bills are 3-0.
Squeaky wins, though, right?
They're on a collision course again.
Yeah.
It's going to get to the playoffs. And Patrick Mahomes, with the help of probably some questionable officiating.
Pass for 134 yards.
Eliminate, yes.
Yeah. One
that's the
touchdown,
thing.
2 picks.
I don't know. It just seems like it's all happening again.
And don't forget about the Steelers, but
Steelers still in the mix too.
no, it was a nice night. But for the Jags, and I mean, something's got to turn there. Hey,
Yeah.
that's
I'm looking for some advice here. We'll go there just after 6:30 with That Hurts for James H. Brown. I did spend most of my time watching the other game last night. I mean, the Bills it was such a runaway.
Yeah.
I turned my focus to the Commanders and Bengals, which ended up being a pretty good game. Cincinnati. I mean, everybody, I was watching on right after on their show, and they're like, tough to be a Jags fan. I'm like, talk about the Bengals.
No?
The Bengals are 0-3. Like, I think they had higher expectations coming in than Jacksonville, and they're 0-3. That's going to be trouble.
no turnovers or punts. Hey,
Yeah, first game ever.
in the NFL. Kingsbury having a night. Cliff Kingsbury. But yeah, I mean, your boy Scary Terry's finally found a bit of a connection here, eh?
I've been sitting on Terry McLaurin
Yeah, finally
for 5 years in fantasy, and it never paid off. And I don't have him in like any leagues this year.
Of course.
And he finally has a quarterback. And make no mistake about it, Jaden Daniels, that man's a quarterback right there.
He is your LSU Tiger.
Holy smokes, did he look good last night.
Tigers.
Now, the Bengals defense is meh. But it doesn't matter. I mean, he made some phenomenal throws last night. The 2 deep shots to McLaurin, one of them for a touchdown. You know, when he needs to run, he definitely knows how to run. He's got some pretty slick moves. But I thought his decision-making well on the run to keep his eyes downfield and make some plays was just tremendous last night. Like, he was absolutely outstanding.
That 27-yarder to McLaurin in the end zone. Completion probability of 10.3%. The most improbable touchdown of the season.
What? This guy's doing improbable things right now?
And most improbable completion by the Commanders since 2016. That's it's worth the price. It's exciting times. Full credit to Jason Milne. I mean, he's got to be loving this.
Oh, yeah,
as a Commanders, I mean, you've been wandering around in the desert for how long? RG3, I was mentioned last night at the bar as well. I mean, but that's how long it's been, right?
Shades of RG3 as a rookie, though.
Yeah, hopefully not the flamingo legs.
Hopefully it goes a little bit better. I had him in fantasy, put up a huge night, like 30-some points. I also had him on the bench in fantasy in one of my leagues, which is not a great look. However, I started Dak in that league, and Dak had one more fantasy point than Jaden Daniels this week, so it worked out okay.
And something for the future here to look forward to. Hey?
Yeah,
I mean, this is good vibes.
I've decided to fully invest in 100 Jaden Daniels rookie cards, and there's nothing that can go wrong with that type of investment, is there? Oh man. Well, we'll get into that coming up. The rest of the way in the 6 o'clock hour. Hey, if you need a conch, it's sitting here. It's ready to go. Let me know who needs a conch. If you're watching on YouTube, let's hammer the thumbs up today. Let's not freak out about the Oilers dropping 2 preseason games. In the end, it doesn't really matter. But I do think it's not unfair to have a discussion about the blue line today, because Brown was not good and Stetcher was not good last night. And now they're getting ramped up. Give them some time, I guess.
12-4 combined. I mean, that's...
You got spanked by the Flames twice last night. That's a tough one. Keep your text messages rolling in for this, of course, as well.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
That's not good enough. Dig in. Courtesy Connor McDavid. Probably going to win text of the day today with a "That's not good enough." Dig in text. And I do at some point see a John T and Victoria "That's not good enough." Dig in remix. I don't know how he makes it work, but I think there's something there. Could it be an Esty?
Again, you don't know what it is, but you can see it in the distance.
It's
like a mirage.
I'm envisioning it right now, and it's glorious. It's going to be terrific. Still to come, boy, some big announcements today. YouTube Trev announces his future. He's got a major future announcement coming up 6:45 today. We're going to get into my investment, the investment. What the hell do I do here? And it's been, I'll just say this, boys, it's been a pleasure working with both of you. That's all I'll say. Yeah, we got that coming up as well still.
You're going to the Bear.
I was at the old building.
I'm connecting it all together.
I'm going to go do middays at the Bear. Rawr. All right, let's get to a sports update for Nisku Glass. If you have glass that has been cracked and or shattered into a million pieces, they can either attempt to put it together in the most epic turnaround of all time, or you can just get a new piece of glass at Nisku Glass. I honestly want to break glass just so I can use their services. That's how good they are. Eric's got an update with more on that.
Oilers doubled up in split squad action by the Flames, 6-3 here in Edmonton and 6-1 down in Calgary. The Oilers will visit Winnipeg tomorrow and return home to host the Kraken Saturday night. Winnipeg Jets and RFA Cole Perfetti agreeing on a 2-year bridge deal worth $6.5 million as well yesterday. NFL Monday night, pair of games. Josh Allen tossing for 4 touchdowns in the opening half. Bills cruising to a 47-10 win over the Jags. Buffalo improving to 3-0. Rookie Jaden Daniels, meanwhile, tossed two touchdowns and ran in another. Commanders 38, Bengals 33, dropping Cincinnati to 0-3. You can join me at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge Thursday night. We'll kick off Week 4 when the Giants host the Cowboys. Smoked brisket cheesesteaks on special, and your next chance at an NFL jersey via the scoreboard. Blue Jays season-ending 6-game homestand starting with a 4-1 loss to the Red Sox. That series will continue later tonight. Shohei Ohtani, meanwhile, will look to pad his stats later this evening. The Dodgers host the Padres. Ohtani currently sits on 53 homers and 55 stolen bases. Elks look for revenge Friday from Winnipeg to kick off Week 17 in the NFL. The 5-9 Elks dropping Saturday's decision to the Bombers 27-14 from Commonwealth as the club hit the practice field today. You can join the EST crew for this one at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Kickoff at 6. The Green and Gold Kickoff Show with Maddie and Milne will get going at 5. Nisku Glass is growing and now hiring. If you're a nasty that wants to work with other nasties and can cut glass and replace windshields, then we want to hear from you. Email your resume to info@niskuglass.ca or stop by our shop to apply today.
How dude. How dude. How dude. I'm your huckleberry.
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me. How do you? I'm your huckleberry. I'm your huckleberry. I'm your huckleberry. I'm your huckleberry.
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
636. Oh, man. How a little banging that little remix together live on the go. Have you ever seen such a thing? Incredible.
Ones and twos, yeah?
Yeah, this is working the ones and twos, baby. That was nice. I've usually tried to do that with Owen, but I think it works better with Tombstone Tuesday. Hey, thumbs up if you like that. If you like that remix, Trev, you were digging it, eh?
That's a good one. I like that one.
Some of those really clips are like pretty intense, right? Over when that music gets quiet.
I like the skin that smoke wagon
Right at the beginning of it. Yeah,
it really works.
Woo! Nielson Show presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Welcome to the Fort. You're going to join us October 4th. The entire day, 6 a.m., 6 p.m. Oktoberfest celebration, South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. RCN, some people are guessing what Trev's big announcement is here today. RCN says YTT is leaving to start Pincher Creek Sports Talk, the PCST.
A division of.
The first spinoff.
Maybe.
That would be great. All right, let's bring in Trev from Pincher Creek Sports Talk.
Today I was skipping rocks. I had the whole crew out there.
Clap your hands.
Yeah.
Clap your hands. No, that's not it. Somebody else said the announcement, I think it was Kevin said, the announcement is Trev's girlfriend is going to actually kiss him on the hangout as opposed to at the
Wouldn't that be
Estes,
something, eh?
where she dodged him 4 times.
Full 2 hours.
4 times. Like, I still bring that up. Like, I've got that. Like, I can use that, which is actually awesome.
100%.
Like,
buddy.
oh, you think this is bad?
Yeah.
Remember winning Rookie of the Year and I went to kiss you 4 times? Gosh. Like, yeah. So that
was a tough one.
it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed.
That was a tough one. This is a good text from Tommy Rubella. Oh, man. Break the party. Still going.
6 o'clock hour.
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
I didn't realize that was still going. This is a pretty good text though from Tommy Rubella today. 780-218-9999. That really bossy kid at the playground when the moat you're building for the sandcastle isn't deep enough.
That's not good enough. Deep in.
That's pretty good too. I like it. Keep these text messages rolling in. Let's get into That Hurts right now. This one stings a little bit. That Hurts, brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. If you've been injured in an accident, visit their website, jameshbrown.com, and they'll look after you. Go see Trent and his team. They will look after you. Bones is in it, says it's way too windy in Pincher Creek for sports talk.
Too corny.
That's a good one as well. All right. What do I do with the investment, boys? This hurts. This really hurts. I've made like 2 off the sort of cuff investments in my life. That's it. I mean, you got.
I told the tale of the first one last night as well.
Which one was that?
Lewis Hamilton?
Oh, no. That
that's
one
the
was
other-
an investment.
well,
That
but
one
that
I
was,
should have just sold
you
high
should have
on.
sold, yeah.
I got offered like $6,000 for a Lewis Hamilton card, and I was like, I'm going to hold. What is this, GameStop? I mean, I should have sold when I had the chance to sell.
That was a tough one.
No, the other one was a few years back. I invested in a company that was like designing an app on it that your phone you couldn't do anything on your phone. It was just help stop distracted driving.
Okay.
So like the vehicle would have this thing where your phone would only work for emergency purposes while you're driving, which I thought was kind of a pretty good idea. Pumped a little bit. I mean, I'm not talking like, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, more modern investments, but like that was one that backfired. And then I've sunk a pretty good chunk of change into Trevor Lawrence rookie cards, hoping he would follow the Patrick Mahomes path and those cards would eventually elevate to the numbers that Mahomes cards are at. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in a spot here now where I've got about, I'm not even exaggerating, probably close to 80 Trevor Lawrence rookie cards. And he's really, the moment I knew that I screwed up was when he did that spin move last night to nowhere. I was just like, what are you doing, man? And we'll talk about this a little bit with Naylor, but do the Jags suck because of Trevor Lawrence? And what do? I'm not selling low. I think I just sort of have to hold if there's any investing people out there.
He's gone 0-8. He's gone 0-8 before.
I have to hold.
He's gone 0-8 before. He held then.
I think I have
earlier
to hold.
days, but
I think I have to hold. And then when he turns it around, I can have this glorious kind of victory lap. And then at that point, I should probably sell high, but I'll probably still continue to hold. But I don't necessarily know how to handle this, and it hurts me. It hurts me big time.
And the move, as you mentioned, disconnected controller. That's kind of a...
Yeah, I was just like, what are you doing with this spin move, man? This is unnecessary. He looks like a guy who is drowning and trying to fight right now in the water to stay alive.
Ain't nobody throwing him a preserver on that team. That's the issue too, eh? Who's to say different offense, new coaching scheme?
Big Maple says fire sale, Dusty. Sell in groups of 3 or 4 with one higher value card and a couple cards with 2 to 3 lesser value cards. Get back what you can.
You always had that playoff comeback, right? That was
That's,
Yeah, you had
that's
magic.
No, that was the moment I was like, this is the guy. This is the guy I'm all in on. Backfired miserably, you guys. As I tweeted last night, I would like to trade my Trevor Lawrence rookie card collection for a Jaden Daniels rookie card collection.
Or Caleb Williams maybe would be more of a...
Well, you could buy low on Caleb Williams right now.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the
you
plan.
have options, maybe. Like
Maybe that's the plan. Maybe I sell low on Trevor Lawrence, turn that, and invest it in Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever gone wrong for the Chicago Bears.
No, especially at that position.
Doesn't sign text, guys, and it says, when Dusty meets with his accountant to review his investment strategies.
That's not good enough.
I'm 0 for 2. I've only had 2, but neither of them have done very well. Andrew says, Dusty, you own the market on those cards. Burn 79 of them, and then the supply goes down, and when he turns it around, you sell high on the remaining ones.
Oh, that could be your way out of this. Yeah.
That's a good one. Your only hope is to get rid of Doug Peterson. That could help turn it around. Maybe that's what I have to do.
You get rid of Doug Peterson.
I have to somehow they are sabotaging themselves enough. I think I just have to sit back here and wait until they make a coaching change. And look at Sammy Darnold right now. No, totally. How do we not know that Trevor Lawrence isn't a leading MVP candidate 2 years from now? If that's the case, if I was to sell low on this, you would all be mocking me for the rest of my days. But still, it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It hurts big time.
Cliff Kingsbury, I mean, for crying out loud, he's calling good play. You never know. Coaching change.
You know what hurts most about this?
Wash him up.
What hurts most about this is as the Trevor Lawrence cards were rolling in the mail in the house, I'd get another one and I'd open it up and my wife was just staring at me. She goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, "This is an investment. I'm telling you, it's not like I love the guy so much that I'm going to keep the cards forever. He's going to continue to rise. I'm going to get them all graded. I'm going to flip them, and we're gonna go on a vacation." Like I was just.
How many of these were coming in? Like you were having trucks showing up.
I was on a stretch of about 6 months where I was getting as many Trevor Lawrence cards as I could, and now she's right. Like Tam's right. She wins. She just looked at me and she's just like, "You're an idiot." The whole time, even when he was playing well, she's like, "You're an idiot. This isn't going to work." And now she wins again. So that hurts. Like the whole situation hurts. I don't know what to do with it. Red is in. It says, "Whatever you do, Dusty, please don't invest in Jaden Daniels rookie cards." Signed, Commanders fan, Red.
Oh boy.
This is a good one. Bones is in. It says, "Poor Muzz having to go to online college instead of the University of Lethbridge since the Trevor Lawrence experiment." Yeah.
She won't be a Jags fan. Well, where are you leaning? Are you right in the middle? Or are you dead center? This is like an MBT Trey Ford issue. Like, what are you? What side are you?
I'm holding. Okay. I look every time I have to worry about my investments. I watch the movie Dumb Money, and what was that guy's name? Roaring Kitty. Roaring Kitty one time lost $30 million in back-to-back days, but he held. So I'm going to take my advice from the YouTube guy who got in on all the GameStop stuff, and I'm going to hold as well. And we'll see where it goes from here.
Why am I thinking jail now for you somehow? Like it's just kind of like you're talking GameStop and all this stuff. Like I'm going to end
up in jail over Trevor Lawrence investment
scam. The whole
scam?
Doug Peterson rubbing him out, getting him out of the picture. Like
what a horrible
man
call.
Flies from Canada to take out Jaguars coach in hopes to save his investment.
Okay,
it's just a mugshot of you.
So here's the thing: the safe driving investment failed. So I turned my focus to the Trevor Lawrence rookie card investment.
What a pass.
That's 0 for 2. Yeah. What's my third one? Ooh. What's my next investment? Who's got ideas? Obviously, I'm open to whatever. Let's go. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Amazon built its Leduc warehouse on Dusty's Trevor Lawrence card deliveries.
Somebody's looking for... Jeffy's got some property he might be interested in here.
Yeah.
Gold.
Whatever. You know what? They all can't be winners.
Yeah.
Even some of the richest people in the history of the world have probably invested in few things that have failed.
Well, lots of failure. Right? Yeah, before you succeed. Yeah, you got to fall, know how to fall. And
I'm going to take my Trevor Lawrence rookie card collection onto Dragon's Den and be like, who wants in? Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. No, I said a couple of things. Trev's got his big announcement coming up here. And I said it's been a pleasure working with you guys. But after tonight, when I become the most successful poker streamer of all time, I probably won't be in tomorrow, boys. If I win the Lock Shop Poker Series tonight,
you can forget about the Trevor Lawrence investment. I mean, that's
my new thing.
Scrubbed it out. Yeah.
If I win the tournament tonight, while I'm streaming it on our Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel, I think that's a sign, right? The day after the investment fails so miserably, I win a poker tournament streaming online. The only option I would have at that point is to leave Edmonton Sports Talk, to leave TSN, and become full-time poker streaming guy. So join us tonight. Lock Shop Poker Series event. If you have not yet registered for the tournament, I'm in it. Awanik's in it. There's bounties on both of our heads. There's a $100 bounty on my head, $100 bounty on Huss's head. Awanik, because he's the self-proclaimed EST poker champion, despite finishing 5th in the tournament. He's got a bounty on his head.
Remus.
Hernan's playing. Glue Guy's playing. HR Daddy's playing. There's going to be a bunch of us in there. All you have to do is go to coolbet.com, download the poker software, and search Lock Shop, register for the tournament tonight. Works out to just shy, I think, of $30 Canadian to get in. And I plan on being full-blown streaming guy tonight. So we'll see how it goes.
Oreos ready?
The Oreos will be ready. And I'm going to stay focused and try to take down this tournament. And if I do win, I'm out tomorrow. I'm not in tomorrow. So fingers crossed. I got to sleep in. After a big poker win, like that's what poker streamers do, right? They like stream all night long
with your money,
and then they sleep with their bracelets. I'm going for a bracelet. That's what I'm going to try to get tonight. Yeah, that would be good. Anyway, so we got that going down for us.
JCD 780. What time is the tournament?
8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock Edmonton time tonight. So you can pop on in. You can register right now. Just download the poker software. Do it on a desktop or a laptop computer. Download the poker software. And just search Lock Shop in the tournaments and join us. We had about 70 people by the time the last tournament started. So it was, it was a really, really good time. I'm looking forward to it. Now, what I'm not looking forward to is this announcement. YouTube Trev comes in this morning, drops a bomb on us.
First to know. We were the first. I mean, not even a family.
I'm pretty sure that girlfriend that didn't even want to kiss him.
Yeah, I tell you.
Doesn't even know what's going on here right now. I'm going to fully support his decision, even though I'm a little bit curious about it. YouTube Trev, the floor is yours, buddy. What's the announcement today, my man?
Okay, well, first off, I come in this morning and I think nothing light of it. I'm just like, so I'm also deciding on doing this. And you guys are like, oh, like this is huge. So I just want to apologize to everyone who might be mildly disappointed with this announcement. But I'm like the last 40 minutes, I'm like, how can I make this huge? It's not that huge. Yes, I came in this morning. Today starts my final season at the ESSC Multisport League. I'm retiring after this one. That's it.
Holy
that is it.
Smokes.
That is it. That's all
my God.
it is.
Wow. So you are announcing a farewell season tour, basically.
Yes. So if you want to come watch, actually, you can't watch.
If you want to come watch.
So I've been doing it. This is like my 8th season now, and it's kind of just like last year was kind of a grind. And this year, I just kind of want my nights off, and I kind of want to transition to, if you don't know, I was quite the soccer player growing up. I actually tried out for college soccer.
At Lethbridge College. My roommate played on the Lethbridge College Kodiak soccer team.
And so, soccer is not my favorite sport to watch, but it's by far my favorite sport to play. So I want to play some indoor soccer, hopefully on the weekends. And we won the multi-sport championship last 2 seasons ago. We won it last season with Zach, and he absolutely crushed it.
It's like an asterisk.
Yeah, with Zach.
That's the most incredible championship of all time.
Yes, it was. Absolutely. And so this season, I hope to finish, on a high note, get that three-peat. And that's all it is. But I didn't think this was going to be a huge announcement. I will say that, but I'm excited. And who knows? Maybe I'll get that itch back, but I kind of want to just focus on one sport.
Yeah.
Instead of like
you don't want to
switching
be
it
a
up.
multi-sport athlete anymore.
Who are you, Michael Jordan?
Yeah, exactly.
This is like when Bo Jackson decided that.
Well, you got to focus and.
So that is the massively huge news. That's kind of just like medium news. It's not that big news, but it's nice. Thanks for teeing it up like it was like the end all.
Yeah, own it. This is your career, man. This is your
you know what? Maybe,
pro career.
This is a huge moment for everybody.
This is huge.
Like,
I'm going to take my talents to
Indoor soccer.
What
about outdoor soccer? You're considering outdoor soccer?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
I want to get back
Good for you.
into soccer quite a bit. So, and that you can watch me actually play because there's a stadium or like, there's seats.
Yeah.
So
I still don't think anybody's going to want to come watch you play. But
maybe LT and Maddie come watch me play.
Who likes soccer, right? This is. Do you have any sort of dates that you've identified on the calendar this season that'll be like big moments, like having your family out, having the girlfriend, like any, have we gone through the entire schedule?
Nothing to date. I'll definitely start looking at those big nights for sure.
Because now they're all big nights now. Each one is like a cup.
Yep. I want because like who knows? I don't know the next time I'm going to play floor hockey. I don't know the next time I'm going to play basketball.
Oh, that's so sad.
Handball, all the balls.
And the number needs to be retired in each.
Yeah, exactly.
Each one last time they have to raise a
banner for me.
Yeah.
I still can't believe they have a sport called juke ball.
Yeah,
doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Yeah,
on that one, juke ball, like not a good name at all, and it's not the most fun game. But I'm just reading the nasty chat. There's so much people that are really into this.
Yeah. Well, Trev, listen, man. As a guy who has been on both sides of this, I announced my volleyball retirement, going out on a high, which I hope you can also feel this year with a three-peat in the Edmonton Sport and Social Club.
Yeah.
But then I also didn't get to have like rec league hockey retirement tour. I kind of just got too busy.
Well, an injury as well sidelined you a bit. The dunking incident and all that.
The injury kind of
you're going out on your own.
It's your own terms, man.
Yeah, this is my own terms, and it's kind of like I pay to play. I don't get paid to play, so that was another thing. It's a little expensive.
The money.
Like if I was getting money, I might consider playing another season, but. Yeah, and also with the hockey season right around the corner. Last year, I'm kind of embarrassed about it. I told Tommy that I'd go, play hockey with him a lot. I only went the one time, and I was absolutely gassed. So that's one thing as well. I'm gonna transition to indoor soccer, and I want to go Friday nights with Tommy a lot more. So that's my goal, and that's enough, physical activity. So yeah, that's the huge news, and I want to just thank all the nasties for everything, all the support. It really goes a long way.
The girlfriend,
who I will kiss probably later.
Maybe
if she lets me. But yeah, this season I'm dedicating it to you, the nasties.
Wow, you're dedicating your final season of Edmonton Sport and Social Club to the nasties.
And I'll update you every night on what I do or what I don't do.
Good.
And so yeah, this is the best time of the year. Like, let's go. Sports are back. YouTube Trev's back, playing multi-sports. So yeah, we're having fun.
I didn't know that the dedication to the nasties was coming, Trev, but I'll just say this. I'm proud of you.
He's doing it for them.
I'm proud of your commitment to the group. So that's great. Surveyor Bredson says, I saw Trev play hockey at the Heavy Hockey Showdown. He might want to stay retired from hockey too. Ouch. Surveyor Bredson. On a morning like this, unbelievable.
Interesting about that. Like, I don't know why. That was the first time I skated on like a nice ice.
Yeah, you usually play outdoor, right?
You're outdoor. And so like I've been playing outdoors since I've been in Edmonton. And then the one time with Tommy, but I don't know what it was. Like, I could not do any crossovers. I'm not nearly that bad. My buddy, my roommates, the roommates, they were there. They were in attendance for that one. And they said, like, why did you look like Bambi out there? Like, what was all that all about? I'm like, I honestly don't know. Like, I guess they're really dull. So, Surveyor Brett, you're not wrong. That was pretty bad. It was.
Well, no, what happens, and I've experienced this a few times with the world's longest hockey game. So you go play outdoors for 11 straight days. And then I would usually take like a week off. Then I'd go back to my Friday afternoon skate. And on like rink ice, it's like you're skating in sludge.
Yeah.
I remember getting out there. I was like, oh my God, this is so different than 11 days on the ODR.
Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's a real thing.
It totally threw me off, and
It's a real
I
thing.
couldn't skate at all. So that's what that was.
Yeah, Pat in the county wants to know if Netflix is following this campaign. They got eight episode.
One average man.
Yeah.
They had 10 sports.
Play the clip.
8 of which nobody cares about. Will he complete the three-peat? YouTube Trev, The Last Dance. Yes. All right? Yes. That would be that'd be a good one. Matt Hyman is in and says potential Esty coming for a farewell tour.
Yeah. Follow me on socials. That'll be a good idea because no one will be in attendance. So I'll record what I can and I'll throw it out on Twitter or YouTube.
That's good. Get it out there.
Yeah, Twitter for sure.
Yeah, give this guy a follow. YouTube_Trev. Safety Bob says next year's Estes in memoriam. YouTube Trev's multi-sport career. You know what? Let's
Black and white video. Yeah.
Things that our staff have given up over the last year. YouTube Trev's multi-sport career. Dusty, Trevor Lawrence, investments, that type of thing.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice little addition to the Estes. Actually, we could make that. Oh, Dwayne from Tway says, guys, it sounds like an Edmonton Sports Talk special series. All right, we have Zach to come follow you. So Zach is also out.
Now that he's producing
Package deal.
Oh, he's producing the afternoons. Yeah, with Reed
so
Wilkins.
he's
stuff,
like, but if you ever need a sub, like, and if I can make it,
ringer?
like, please let me know.
bring in the ringer.
Zach is back.
Secret weapon, yeah.
So Zach was part of one season, got a championship, and then is out.
Yeah, which is
Also a legendary move.
Mercenary, yeah.
good because
Also a legendary move.
we struggled. Like it wasn't until like my 6th season where we finally won, and then we got the 2-peat. But we're looking for the 3-peat now. But yeah, Zach came in at the right time.
Man, you're like the Alexander Ovechkin of multisport. Struggle for 12 years and
Yeah.
then finally start to deliver.
Yep.
And overall
true.
team results.
Yeah,
I guess I'm
exactly.
sure you were phenomenal individually, but you got to come together as a team.
That's what it is.
That's what's happening.
Team sport.
Guys, I do wonder what kind of gifts the away teams will give to Trev.
Presentations, yeah. Big flower rings.
All right. That was fun. Keep us in the loop. Keep us in the loop. It's gonna be good. Too good. All right. Coming up in hour number 2 here, we are gonna get to a cool bet early bird parlay. Join that poker tournament. It's gonna be a fun. I promise you, it's gonna be a fun time tonight. If everybody say, "Hey, Dusty, if I'm at your table, can I go look at the YouTube feed and see your cards?" No. I'm not going to allow you to cheat off of me.
We're going to have that under table camera too for the. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Might have them, but there'd be no cards there because they're just online. Dave Naylor is going to join us. He was in Buffalo last night for that Bills game. We're going to talk Josh Allen. We're going to talk Trevor Lawrence. We got to talk Jaden Daniels. And we also got to get Naylor's thoughts on if we can go both. Does he think the Elks will stick with Trey Ford this week? Does he think they should go to MBT for their best chance to beat the Bombers? We'll get into that with Naylor. Weekly confessions on the way as well. On the way next, though, the Edmonton Oilers. Are you at all concerned about their blue line after lackluster preseason games from both Stetcher and Brown? I know it sounds ridiculous to ask, but this is Edmonton. So you probably got a take on it. 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube today, changing 100. Hammer the thumbs up for us. That would be great. Have you also retired from hitting changing 100?
Changing 100.
There we go. All right, we got it. Let's get to a sports update for Green Plan. On the other side, we'll discuss Oilers blue line's current situation, and then we'll go from there. You know they're going to have to upgrade at some point. When does it happen? That's the question. And can we milk 8 months out of this? We certainly plan on doing just that.
Oilers doubled up split squad action by the Flames last night. 6-3 here at Edmonton and 6-1 down in Calgary. The Oilers will visit Winnipeg tomorrow, returning home to host the Kraken Saturday night. Jets and RFA Cole Perfetti agreeing on a 2-year bridge deal yesterday worth $6.5 million. NFL Monday Nighters, Josh Allen tossed for 4 touchdowns in the opening half. Bills cruising to a 47-10 victory over the Jaguars. Buffalo improving to 3-0. Dropping Jacksonville to 0-3. Rookie Jaden Daniels, meanwhile, he tossed 2 touchdowns and ran in another. Commanders 38, Bengals 33, dropping Cincinnati to 0-3. Daniels finishing the night with a 91% completion percentage, the highest for a rookie quarterback in NFL history. You can join me at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge Thursday night to kick off Week 4. It's the Giants hosting the Cowboys. Smoked brisket cheesesteaks on special, and your next chance at an NFL jersey via the scoreboard. Jay's season-ending 6-game homestand starting with a 4-1 loss to the Red Sox. That series continues later this evening. Shohei Ohtani, meanwhile, he'll look to pad his stats later tonight. The Dodgers back on the diamond to host the Padres. Ohtani currently sitting on 53 homers and 55 stolen bases. Elks looking for revenge Friday from Winnipeg to kick off Week 17 against the Bombers. Edmonton falling to 5-9 in Saturday's loss at home to Winnipeg. You can join the EST crew for this one at the Century Casino Sports Bar Lounge. Kickoff at 6. The Green and Gold kickoff show with Maddie and Milne gets going at 5 o'clock. Sports Update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting service. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tuffy and Eric and all of the Bearcats. Like Brzezinski and Noodles, Gavdik and Gage. Maybe just bump it a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Sharky's always on time, Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hit some hot chicks and we wanna hear Renee. Wanna hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away. Be left to tie a fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about Evander Kane's? Marimella, Rapaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about them give a present, Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
7:04 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here this morning. Nielson Show presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Make plans to join us. AM Nasties, come on out. It's going to be a good time. Come browse around. You don't have to come out and buy a vehicle. You can come out, take a peek, see what type of deals they have. We're going to have some special deals for you. October 4th, EST, live on location for the entire day. First time ever we've done this, from 6 in the morning until 6 at night. Doing it at South Fort Chev. They've got great financing rates in September on Silverados and heavy duties. Visit their website, www.southfortchev.com. And on October 4th, food, drinks, giveaways, exclusive sales and deals throughout the day. It's going to be a phenomenal time out in Fort Sask. Drive a little, save a lot. We're looking at a high of 26 degrees for today. Is that why you're wearing the Orlando Magic basketball jersey?
We said 26 today, 26 tomorrow. Tapers off a bit for the weekend, but great temperatures.
I'm going to make a bold statement here. And Clausen can correct me if I'm wrong, but what'd you say? 26 today, 26 tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, that'll be the highest temperature we see for the rest of the year. That's it. There's no way we're getting back up above 26. Like, enjoy tomorrow. Because I don't see us getting back over top of that.
18 next Tuesday. Wouldn't that be something at the Oktoberfest down at South Fort Chev?
29. I was wrong.
Sweating it off, eating
it's I just don't see it. I don't see a world where we top tomorrow's temperature again in the calendar year.
Get it in you.
We probably won't get that temperature again until May of next year.
Evander Kane will be back.
Evander Kane might be playing again by the next time we see 26 degrees. So enjoy it. This one is in. It says, boys, I haven't tried one yet, but I had a dream last night about eating a Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. It's my brain simply saying, that's not good enough. Dig in.
That's not good enough.
That's him from the Saskatoon Muncher.
Start with the buddy, get up to the team, try them all.
Nah, skip over the buddy.
It's
Go
nice
straight to the team.
You know what? The thing with the buddy is, though, you get the more chip. Because there's not as much going on in you, but not the vegetable. I mean, that's you go. It's the meat, the bun.
The last
chip.
one I had was at an A&W up on 111th. No veggies. And I think when there's no veggies, they put more chips in. Because I'm telling you, buddy, there must have been, I'm not even exaggerating, there was 10 to 12 Ruffle chips in this burger.
They're not supposed to. They only have to count, 6 or something like that?
Their Ruffles chip budget is through the roof. Only at A&W. One of you are going to win text of the day today, probably with the McDavid clip.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
Cam Dineen -3.
What? Hey, how about, I think Hoffman was -3 and had a goal.
Well,
That's not good enough. Dig in.
like Maximus Warner, the only defenseman even before shots from old MW.
Clausen has texted me. He said, agreed, 28 or 29 for a high tomorrow. That's very likely the closest we get to 30 for the rest of 2024. Boom. Knew it. Crazy. Our knowledge of the weather around here is insane.
Well, we got the expert on call here.
Oh, that is nice. Shout out Klaus. All right. We will get to Dave Naylor. He's going to be by. We're going to get to weekly confessions. Something I saw at 7-Eleven made me very sad. I'm going to confess that around 7:45 today. But the Edmonton Oilers. Do we need to have the adult discussion? A grown-up chat about the blue line?
Yeah, well, doesn't sign text guys putting Bouchard back on PP1.
I like his
after the Cam Dineen -3. So
I like his chances there.
Aircraft carrier.
So what we've seen so far, Emberson looked pretty good. He looked, first look at him, seemed fine. Brown taking a lot of heat in the Edmonton Sports Talk group chat last night. Yeah. Stetcher hasn't played in a long time, injury-wise. Probably got to give him a little bit more of a leeway. I tweeted last night, hopefully Stetcher steps up because Brown does not look like a third-pairing defenseman. Trev, are you worried about this blue line? Just be honest. This is an open conversation.
I'm a little worried.
You're a little worried?
Yeah.
A little worried?
I mean, it is preseason, and you have to factor in, how much, for some of the guys, how much are they really trying? It is preseason. I know you want to make your mark, but there is that risk, of, potentially getting injured. So I don't think it's 110% for some of these guys, but, I mean, we're talking about it. Josh Brown, yeah, that's, not so good there. Troy Stetcher, not his best showing. He was in the penalty box a little bit, and he bobbled the puck up quite a bit. But I'm still pretty, I was pro Stetcher when they got him, so
Me too.
I am I think he can turn it around. I really do. You think about how much he played for the Oilers last year. It wasn't much at all, and then he had surgery, and then he's got the preseason right now, so he'll find his stride. I'm not too worried about him, but I'm more so just confused. I'm more so confused now that why they would have got rid of. Well, I just the CC thing. I know you got to extend Leon and whatnot, but it's just they're gaping holes right now, and it's fairly obvious. So the defense on paper was better last year, and they got rid of quite a few guys. So I don't know that they don't have the players that are going to fill in those holes from the players that they have lost during the offseason. So it's concerning. Whether they play better team defense that could be, that's going to be huge for the team going forward, and they're going to have to. They're going to have to commit to defense, and it's not just the forwards are really going to have to help out the defense this year. So it was kind of concerning, but then it is preseason. I'd be more concerned if it was a game 1 of the regular season.
Casino Dealer Jay in the Nasty Chat says, guys, my boy and I went to the game last night. One of the most noticeable players was number 64, Clattenburg. Forwards looked fine, but the defense looked young and were caught. And they almost had 50 shots last night. Yeah. For the home game here. The game here, they almost had 50 shots. Cooley was terrific.
Rasmus Anderson with the goal.
Well, they're going to trade for him eventually.
Well,
anyway,
I'm just saying, this could be your...
McBain says it's preseason. Deep breath. Yeah, I understand. But we also... this is not a situation where coming into the preseason, we all said, the blue line's fine. Don't worry about it. This is a situation where coming into the preseason, we're like, let's see how things sort out with second pair and third pair right shot D. And last night was not a good showing from a couple of guys who were in the running for those spots. So fair conversation to have there.
Nurse is out. I mean, you mentioned Ty. We saw him the other night. I mean, you got Ben Gleason with an assist. Him and Maximus Warner even on the night too. 4 shots, as I mentioned, for Warner. I mean, it's just those guys that you assume would take those bottom positions on that blue line that didn't have a good showing last night. But again, I'm still firmly entrenched in Stetcher's season. Maybe Josh Brown isn't the answer. But depth, we knew it would be an issue, and given last night's numbers and results, it still might be.
Yeah,
but it's something to focus on and work on here.
This is not a preseason 2-game overreaction. This is we knew that this part of their defense looked different.
They're not sitting out.
We know that they
4 guys
want
here
to try to upgrade it. So let's have that conversation. This is the other question I wanted to ask today. And you can, of course, text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We will get into some of your text messages. If you're watching over on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up, sub to the channel, and hit us up in the nasty chat as well.
Joel says the defense isn't worth a lick.
Ooh, jeez.
I don't mind that saying.
But here's my question. So let's say Emberson, it looks like what they want is Emberson to be the second pair guy with Darnell Nurse, and then one of Stetcher Brown be a third pair with Kulak. I mean, it's not a lot of rocket science here. It's kind of how it's going to sort itself out. The question I have is if the Oilers' second and third pair right shot D-men are not up to par, how much would it actually hurt this team? Or are they so good up front that they'll kind of gloss over any issues they have back there, at least until it's nitty gritty time and you got to trade for somebody prior to the deadline? Do you think we're sitting here in late October, early November, and they can't possibly have a worse start than they did last year? I expect them to come out and have an absolutely wonderful start this year. But do you think we're sitting here in late October, early November going, oh boy, right side of their blue line is a major issue?
Yeah, Skinner's terrible.
Yeah, but because of
exactly.
Or do you just sit there and go, man, damn, this team's so good, they can definitely cruise by with these 3 guys in some sort of those 2 spots in some sort of combination, and everything will be fine until the deadline.
Would you invest in it? You're talking investments this morning. You investing in
I'm
this
a
blue
horrible
line as it is
investment
right
guy.
now? Well, no, but I'm just saying.
I'm not investing in the blue line as it is now.
Yeah.
I will have faith that I'd be fully invested in their blue line come post-trade deadline.
Sure.
I don't know, Trev. What do you think about that? Are they good enough to overcome a little bit of a questionable right side?
I think so, but I don't like that option. Last year, you saw it in the playoffs. They were winning 1-0. They were winning 2-1. They were winning games that you hadn't seen this Oilers team win in years, right? It was always outscoring their mistakes. It was always, and you saw that in the year prior against the Vegas Golden Knights. It wasn't the fact that they couldn't score, but they just couldn't keep the puck out of the net. So I don't, and that's what I'm worried for this season. I really am. I think I feel like their defense is going to be, substantially worse. So they're going to be forced to have to, constantly outscore their mistakes. And I think we're going to be talking about a lot this year, which is concerning.
Or maybe Knobloch just coaches them up and everything's fine. I mean,
coaches them.
There's
Cough. Remember Cough? I mean, that
Stewart.
Yeah. Coyote Steve wants a little more Gleason in the mix.
Oh, are we at that point in the preseason? We're asking for more Gleason. I love it. I love it. I got a lot of time for that. Yeg Welder guys in it says, guys, I was at the game last night with my daughter. Take a breath, everyone. Even McDavid didn't really look very good. It's watch your mouth. You watch your mouth, Yeg Welder guy.
Well, he had that one rush where he turned it on there, eh?
It's early. It is early. And like we said, you don't want to be a super duper overreaction guy, but this is not us expecting that part of the blue line to be great and then seeing them not look that good in a preseason game. This is us being worried about that part of the blue line anyway, and then seeing them not look great in a preseason game. So it's a little bit of a different conversation. It's not like we're sitting here after and going my God, Kulak last night. Did you see him? He's awful. That's not what this is. This is the other side where you're trying to fit 3 pieces into 2 spots and you're not really overly confident in any of them. So I think that's fair.
But they've outscored before, as YouTube Trev mentioned, and who's to say they won't do it again? At least until the recruitments come in, the mercenaries.
Rob says, guys, who gives a crap about the preseason? Nothing can be worse than the start last season.
How
Take a damn
dare
breath.
you?
I don't think anybody's freaking out here. I think we're just having it's not like we're ranting on it. We're just having a logical conversation on what's going to happen with the right side of the blue line.
That's 6-1 Oilers last night and 6-3 Oilers last night. We would be giving a crap about the preseason. We'd be saying, "Oh my God, look at this." That's
true.
Listen to the preseason here. Now they've lost both games, 12-4, and yeah, who gives a crap? Well,
it's not panic. It's a fair conversation to have,
sure.
because you're bringing in. I don't want to like Emberson's different. He's a little bit younger. He's still sort of on his way up. You hope he works out. He's a defenseman that's heading in the right direction. Brown's a spare part. And Stetcher's got a lot of games under his belt coming off an injury. Now, in the end, with this team, if Emberson plays well, does it even really matter who the third pair right shot guy is? Well, not until early November when one of them's -3 and Tommy Gazzola's dealing with people ready to jump off a bridge somewhere because of it. So there's a fair conversation to have here about the right side of the demon. Chris G's in and says, just play 14 forwards and 4 demon.
Yeah.
Ken says, I get it's preseason, but there's a ton of guys here for preseason that we know aren't making this team. Keep players actually battling for 5 to 7D in the 4th line. Send the rest down. You need time to gel. Well, I think you're going to see some cuts today. A few, Knobloch last night in his postgame said you'd see probably a few cuts this morning, and then a bigger chunk probably, what's today, Tuesday? They'll have this thing narrowed down pretty good, I would think, by Friday. And then you kind of turn around and focus on the second half of the preseason, get the group together, play Draisaitl with Arvidsson and Skinner.
We'll have some pregame shows. I mean, the worm turns there a bit.
Lance Kane is in and says, few games into the preseason, we already missed Cece. Maybe he wasn't as bad as we texted in for 3 years.
Yeah.
780-218-9999. G from South YEG says those 2 preseason games only gave the Flames false hope. Oilers will be just fine.
I don't think they're looking at this either last night and saying, hope. Talked to Danny Austin yesterday. This is somebody texted in earlier this morning. This is their Stanley Cup last night. 2 wins. 12-4. High watermark for the Flames this season.
John is in and says, guys, at the end of the day, the only big change is CC for Emberson. We are fine. Chill out. I do love you guys who are texting in today saying we are fine, chill out, because I'm going to save all the receipts because I want Tommy to roll in after a loss where there's some sort of issue on the right side D and just look at everybody on the postgame show and go, chill out. Relax, it's fine. How do you think that's going to go over?
Let's get Hernan in the afternoons now.
Oh my God. And Hernan on the pre and post game. So you've got that going for you as well. But it's early. We get a few games, but it was the only conversation point around this team. This is how good this team is and should be. The only conversation point around this team, there's no issues up front. There's not even a discussion up front. You know who the 12 forwards are going to be on opening night. If everybody's healthy, you know who the 12 forwards are going to be. Skinner, you're going to be fine between the pipes. The blue line is an interesting conversation. I mean, it has to be. They changed 2 spots on the blue line. We don't know if it's going to work or not. I mean, we can't say it's not going to work. You can be a little bit concerned that it might not work because it's not like these guys are coming in with brilliant resumes. One guy's only played 30 games and the other 2 guys really haven't been top 4 defensemen. You're asking one of those three people to be a top 4 defenseman and log some pretty heavy, significant minutes. And then, I've just seen it for 12 years in this city that there will be people fully unhinged in November about the right side of the blue line. I'm passing it along right now.
Chill out.
You're going to see what's happening.
Was the receipt.
Rod Zawacki's in it says, Arvidsson -2 is not good. We traded for an injury-prone bum.
There you go. I love it.
The forward group was fine. Don't come in with your forward takes. Somebody else was like, guys, what happens if there's one injury on the left side? Then what do you do?
Well, what if? They were very healthy last year. Very, very healthy.
Well, that's the other thing. That blue line last year could not have been healthier. It was an anomaly. It was weird. You almost were waiting for them to get injured at some point, and they just never did. So, hey, maybe they're just the most
well-conditioned.
Maybe we just have to give the training staff a ton of credit that nothing can injure the Oilers blue line.
Joel Jackson.
Sherwood Sheldon in Texas says, surprisingly, no A&W in Midland or Odessa. Both are, is that 100,000 or 10,000? You've got the comma will make it look like 100,000, but it's only 10,000. Both are 10,000 plus people.
In Texas? A&W is so different down there, isn't it, though? Like, don't they do everything a little different?
A&W's got more of a family feel up here in Canada. I don't think A&W has the impact in the United States as it does here in Canada. All right, let's dive into a couple of things with Cool Bet. First of all, one more time, poker tournament tonight. Do either of you guys want to play in the poker tournament?
I don't know how to play, so I will respectfully decline.
Okay.
I'll be playing sports.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. Your farewell tour begins tonight. Sorry, Trevor, that's disrespectful
Apparently
of me.
it's not huge news, I guess.
That's disrespectful of me,
kidding me
to forget that.
Yeah, you piping it up for the last hour. I forgot about it immediately.
Tough look.
Never mind. I didn't produce his own show, okay, Dustin?
Oh, well played. Anyway, I was just trying to invite you guys. If you wanted to play, we'll get you a spot in the tourney. Cool Bet. It's the Lock Shop Poker Series, event number 2, going down tonight. Go to coolbet.com on your laptop, on your desktop computer. Download the poker software. Search Lock Shop in the tournament tab, and you can register right now. You can also hop in the tournament even shortly after it begins tonight. Which should be a lot of fun. There'll be $100 bounty on my head if you don't understand poker. You don't know how bounties work. If you are
the river, that's the river.
No, it's not the river. But if you're in the tournament and you eliminate me, you will get $100 bounty. So you get $100 just for doing that. There's a $100 bounty on Hustler's head. There's a bounty on Awanik's head. There's a bounty on Hustler's buddies. Had Remus, who ended up finishing second in the last tournament.
Mr. Ritz Cracker get in there too, or what?
I don't think Mr. Ritz Cracker was in there at all. So, no, it's going to be a fun time tonight. So download the poker software, slide on in, and I will be streaming live tonight on our Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube as I become a full-time poker streamer at 8:00 tonight. We'll see how that goes.
Pat Gregoire's in the nasty chat this morning.
I see. That's what I wanted to get to. Was he in there about the CFL?
Yep. The mop.
Okay, I want to get to that. Then we'll build an early bird parlay for the NFL this week. All right, CFL futures over at CoolBet. Most outstanding player. Oh, baby. Look at this.
It's got to be Bo, right?
No, Bo's 5th on the list.
5th.
Have you looked? Don't look. Have you looked? Let's play a guessing game. Did you look? You looked.
I saw one name.
You saw one name? Okay. Which name do you see? Cody Fajardo?
Cody Fajardo.
Cody Fajardo is the heavy favorite now for CFL MOP, minus 286. Like it's basically a foregone conclusion if you look at the odds, because Vernon Adams and Nathan Rourke, the two quarterbacks in BC, are both plus 1150. Brady Oliveira at 14-1. I guarantee today on the Lock Shop, Hustle say you got to bet on Brady Oliveira at 14-1.
Boosted after he bounces you out of the Kerflow playoffs. Say like those two tutties.
Bo Levi Mitchell's at 20-1. Justin McInnes is at 35-1. Roland Milligan's at 35-1. Kolaris is at 60-1. Stanback down there as well. Trevor Harris. Oh, you get all the way down here. We're Trey Ford's at plus 11,000. MBT's at plus 11,500.
Yeah.
There you go. Drew Brown. If he had a strong finish, that wouldn't be a bad sprinkle. I think the play here is Brady Oliveira at 14-1. If you're looking for something, I think that's by far the best number. All right, boys, let's put together a little early bird special this week. We're already into week 4 in the National Football League. Early bird special has hit once and missed once. So let's go 2 for 3 here. Let's see here. Trev's Cincinnati Bengal. Man, as a new Bengals fan, buddy, it's not too early for you to jump off that bandwagon.
Yeah, you get it.
Might have to. I don't have the best luck at picking teams.
Yeah.
I picked the Oilers, and then it was the decade of darkness, and I don't really want to go through that ever again.
I'd bail immediately.
Yeah.
That Raiders jersey is still in there for
It
you.
is, yeah. I did see that.
You should just hop on board with Glue Guy on the Commanders.
Yeah.
Or you want to cheer for the Detroit Lions? I got room on the bandwagon.
Those were the two teams it was either the Lions or Bengals.
Well then, sir.
But then everyone was like, no, you can't be with Dusty.
Who said that?
Everyone here.
Unbelievable.
But not LT.
Unbelievable.
I didn't know.
All right, let's bring up the odds. Coolbet.com. Click on NFL. We can get a look at the games this week. Niners, Patriots, Commanders, Cardinals, Eagles, Bucks, Broncos, Jets, Steelers, Colts, Jags, Texans. Man, the Jags are a 6-point underdog going into Houston. Vikings are dogs going into Green Bay. That's a huge game. Rams and Bears, Panthers and Bengals. Bengals got to win a game at some point, don't they? Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you imagine the Bengals going 0-4 at the hands of Andy Dalton?
I can.
That's a great storyline.
Yeah.
Saints and Falcons, and then the Cowboys and the Giants. YouTube, Trev, pick a game here, buddy. What are we? Who do you like? We're just a money line. We just need winners. That's all we do for the early bird special here. What are we? Rick, you got anybody you like this week?
Taking a peek.
I'm looking as well. Sorry.
Chiefs play the Chargers. Browns get the Rams.
I mean, Niners at home to the Patriots.
Bills, Ravens. That's a big one.
Bills, Ravens is a big one.
Niners at home to Patriots minus 556. That's not even worth betting on, really.
Yeah,
I mean, you could take the Patriots plus 10 if you think they'll keep it close somehow.
No. Lions, Seahawks. I don't mind that.
Lions?
Yeah.
I respect that move. Minus
At home,
200.
the Seahawks, the 3-0, the big 3-0 Seahawks.
I love that one, actually. All right, so you're going to take the Lions? That's your pick?
Sure.
All right, Detroit Lions, minus 200 at home against the 3-0 Seahawks. Seahawks' schedule hasn't been too crazy.
A fraudulent 3-0.
Whoa,
maybe.
whoa, I didn't want to say it because of the 12s, you know?
I know, but...
all right, Trev, who are you going with, buddy?
I'm taking the Cowboys over the Giants.
Dallas Cowboys over the Giants, minus 222 on the road.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, actually, that's not bad either. So we got Lions and Cowboys. That gets us up to plus 118. And... man, do the Bengals actually go to 0-4 here? Are they going to go into Carolina and lose to Andy Dalton?
Andy Dalton. You can't go against Red Rocket.
I think they are.
You think they will?
Yeah.
I can't imagine a world where they lose. I know Carolina was much better this week, but the Bengals starting 0-4. Steelers are interesting. They're minus 122 favorites on the road against a so-so Colts team. I might go Steelers here. Do the Steelers go to 4-0 though? That seems kind of crazy too. The Bears are favorites at home against the Rams, who just beat the Niners. I'm going to roll with my boy Matthew Stafford here. I'm doing it. Let's go Rams.
Whoa.
Yeah, we'll go Rams on there. Detroit Lions minus 200. Cowboys minus 222. Rams plus 130. Plus 400. I like that.
Going against your future investment in Caleb Williams.
You know what I said yesterday on the show? Did I not say maybe it's time to fade Trevor Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence interception I was looking at. Trevor, got another email for you to send the link to Naylor at, okay? He's been having Bell email issues, just like me yesterday.
Jeez, you guys can commiserate about that.
If he can find 4 hours of his time, I might be able to get that fixed.
Did you end up taking that Lawrence INT? You were looking at it.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I didn't, but I should have.
Yeah.
I was trying to be faithful, you know? Backfired. All right, so there we go. Rod Z says the Bears have won each of their last 6 home games. I don't care. I'm going Rams. Rams Cowboys, Lions, our early bird special this week. The boys will get that up on a combo card at the top of Cool Bet. And join me tonight. We're going to have a bunch of the staff on board. Lock Shot Poker Series, second event. Come get that bounty. You'll never take me out. I plan on winning, quitting all my other jobs, and becoming a full-time poker streamer tonight. 8 o'clock start for the Lock Shot Poker Series event. Dave Naylor on the other side. We're going to talk some football, and we got weekly confessions coming up for Spectrum Rental around 7:45 as well. Right now, let's get to a sports update for the great staff out at Park Mazda. Lieutenant Eric, take it away.
Oilers preseason continuing last night with a pair of losses to the Flames, both here in Edmonton and down in Calgary, 6-3 and 6-1, respectively. Oilers will visit Winnipeg tomorrow, returning home to host Seattle Saturday night. Jets, meanwhile, and RFA Cole Perfetti agreeing on a 2-year bridge deal worth $6.5 million yesterday. Monday Night Football, a pair of games. Josh Allen tossing for 4 first-half touchdowns. Bills over the Jags, 47-10. Buffalo 3-0. Jacksonville 0-3. Rookie Jaden Daniels, meanwhile, tossed a pair of touchdowns and rushed in another. Commanders 38-33 over the Bengals, dropping Cincinnati to 0-3. You can join me at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge Thursday night to kick off Week 4. It's the Giants hosting the Cowboys. Smoke brisket cheesesteaks on special throughout the evening, and your next chance at an NFL jersey via the scoreboard. Shohei Ohtani, he'll look to pad his stats later tonight when the Dodgers host the Padres. Ohtani currently sitting on 53 homers and 55 stolen bases. Jays, meanwhile, their season-ending 6-game homestand starting with a 4-1 loss to the Red Sox. That series continues later this evening. You can join the EST crew out at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge Friday for kickoff to Week 17 in the CFL as the Elks visit the Bombers. The Green and Gold kickoff show with Maddie and Milne gets going at 5 o'clock. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he took the Lawrence interception last night.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Lynyrd Skynyrd with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
$7:35 on the Nielson Show on a Tuesday morning. Thank you very much for being here. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. Make a plan for lunch. Get yourself a delicious Popeyes chicken sandwich. And the Nielsen Show is presented to you, of course, by South Fort Chevrolet. Make plans to join us next Friday. We will be on location from 6 in the morning until 6 at night at South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot with Daniel and his great team out. www.southfortchev.com. We're going to be talking quarterbacks here with Dave Naylor for sure. We do have weekly confessions coming up for Spectrum Rental around 7:50 this morning. Naylor was in Buffalo last night, where I have to. Well, before we get to that, I do want his thoughts on the Trey Ford MBT. Who gets to start against the Bombers on Friday? Let's bring in Naylor this morning. I saw that heavy sigh as I brought that up, Dave. What do you think happens at quarterback this week for the Elks?
I feel like they're going to stick with Trey and maybe have a quicker hook. I mean, there's some urgency to this. But that's just a gut instinct on that. And I just think when they went back to Trey after a McLeod win, that just shows that they're kind of committed to go in that direction. But I wouldn't be shocked either way. I think the other story that's got to be creeping into the conversation about Trey Ford a little bit is what happens after this season.
Yeah.
He's a free agent, right? You can walk out the door. And I wonder if that's creeping into some of the who are we going to start thoughts, right? And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not being cynical saying, well, you shouldn't be thinking. Like the Elks are winning the Grey Cup this year, right? They have to be thinking future. And if you stick Trey Ford's butt on the bench for the final 6 games of the season, after the way he's played, what are the chances he's going to be an Elk next season? So I don't know if that comes into it, but it has crossed my mind.
You said what we said yesterday. I said I do think it's Trey Ford on a shorter leash is probably how they'll handle. Like if we see the Bombers in the first quarter do the same stuff to them that they did in the first half last time, I think you probably see MBT roll out in the second quarter. But we'll see what happens. Interesting times though. Now, interesting times where you were last night because like Josh Allen was phenomenal. But the quarterback story kind of coming out of that game was on the other side with Trevor Lawrence. Do the Jags suck because of Trevor Lawrence, or does Trevor Lawrence suck because of the Jags?
He's not playing well. And look, he went into last night with, after week 2, I believe he had the 28th best completion percentage in the NFL. It actually might have been 30th, 28th or 30th completion percentage. It was 51%. But on third down, he was 21.4, which was dead last in the NFL. You can't be dead last on completion. Now, part of it is the Jags, they didn't do this so much last night. When their first 2 games, they were chucking the ball down the field, deep all the time. And they had to do that in the second half last night. But, I mean, it was funny. The one stat that Lawrence hasn't had go too negatively is interceptions. He threw his first one of the year last night, but he overthrew Brian Thomas by 4 feet. It was not a good throw. There are other throws that he missed, and he's just not seeing it right now. And like, this is a team that they were 8-3 last year. Okay. They've lost 8 out of 9. And the one that they've won in that 8 out of 9 streak that they've lost was a game against Carolina that Trevor Lawrence didn't start. So they're 0-8 with Trevor Lawrence and 1-0 without him in the last 9 games. And of course, they were 9-8 last year, fell out of the playoffs, spent $100 million in free agency, more than $100 million in free agency. And they've come back 0-3 and they go to Houston this week. So, it's funny. Twice last year, I covered Monday Night Football games where somebody got fired the next morning. One was in Detroit. It was Josh McDaniels' last game as the Raiders coach. And the other one was in Buffalo when they lost to, I believe it was Denver, and their OC got fired the next day. It was the next day was the Tuesday of Grey Cup week, because I remember doing a hit on that from Tim Hortons Field. But anyway, so I thought, man, this may be 3 Monday Night Football games, 3 firings for me. But look, they're on a short week, so I don't think they're going to do it this week. But I mean, if they have a ugly game at Jacksonville, or excuse me, at Houston, I just wonder whether Peterson survives that. This is year 3 for him, year 4 for Trevor Lawrence. But no, he's just he is not playing well. There's no way around it. And even where he was throwing, especially in the first quarter, the Bills just seem to have 2 guys at every receiver, and so he's going to the wrong places with the football. But it was quite a contrast, between a guy who I think was when he was a freshman, he was a national champion, and everybody said he'd be the first pick of the draft today. And Josh Allen, who had no offers coming out of high school and had to go to JUCO and then played at Wyoming. And by the way, is the only Wyoming quarterback in the school's history, I believe, to ever play in the NFL.
It's crazy.
Dave, I just wanted to flip on the other side. Mr. Overrated was getting showered with MVP chants. What a half it was, what a game it was. But I mean, credit where credit is due to Allen. I mean, going into the season, of course, Diggs gone. James Cook is doing what he's doing. Shakir, it's as I thought it would be, kind of a more spread out offense. Everybody getting a touch here or there. Is it so much Allen doing what he's doing? How much credit also do you share with Joe Brady as well, leading this offense?
I give Joe Brady a ton. And again, since I'm going to think I've got this right. Since they made the change, I believe the only games they've lost were the overtime game at Philadelphia, where they scored, of course, it was in the 30s, right? Where the offense didn't lose that game. Yeah. And the Kansas City playoff game, which I believe the Bills put up 24 in that game, which was which tied for the highest total, I think, that Kansas City gave up all season. There might have been one that was above that. So, in the 2 games that they've lost since the switch, it wasn't Joe Brady's fault. And, there's a lot of subtlety to there's some subtlety to what he's done. The biggest thing is that they can win with the run game. And they came out both the first 2 weeks of the season against Arizona and Miami and were absolutely setting the tone with a run. Last night, they didn't do that. But that when they throw that on tape, teams have to defend that, right? Because they can do it, and they can do it effectively. This is also a team that played all 17 games last year with losing a single man game to injury on the offensive line. And they're 3 games into this year without. So that's 20 straight games without a man game missed on the offensive line. Like, that is freakish territory in professional football. So that's going right. And, you know, as you suggest, when Diggs was there, and I think this comes with a lot of these, diva receivers, is they got to get their targets. And there were games last year where you just felt like every time there was a critical situation, that's where Josh was going, whether he wanted to or felt like he should. It just seemed like they had a predictable element to their offense. Well, this year, I mean, they've embraced the everyone eats mentality. You want to see what that looks like? Last night, 23 completions for Josh Allen to 10 different receivers. 5 different guys crossing the goal line in the first half, 6 different guys crossing the goal line in the game. Nobody had more than 6 targets. Khalil Shakir, they talked about it in the offseason. They showed it at training camp, and now they've laid it down and executed it, to near perfection. So it has been the less is more theory. And I just think with the dual offense, run and pass, with the involvement of both tight ends, James Cook had 5 passes thrown at him last night. The only one he dropped was the one that would have been a touchdown. Every time Josh Allen drops back, it's really, really hard to know where the ball's going. And if it's hard for the fans and the media to know where the ball's going, I think it's the same for the defense. And Josh is not so much making you've got to see this Josh Allen play kind of thing. Like, there's a couple of those sprinkled in, but it's more Josh Allen just executing simple plays, being incredibly efficient with the football. He can put on the cape when he needs to.
Yeah.
But that really wasn't the game last night. It was just Josh making the right plays the right way. 3 straight games on interception. He did throw 1 interception worthy pass on the first possession after halftime, where they got the field goal instead of the touchdown. First drive of the game, they didn't get a touchdown. I think you could feel he wanted to go 6 for 6, and he ended up getting the field goal there. But no, he is. I think what you're really seeing, and what a lot of people have been waiting for a long time, is the maturation of Josh Allen. Like, he is playing to win. And he said it last night, and this everyone else is going to read this as a dig at Steph Diggs. And I think, intended or not, it is. He said, his words were, "It's fun and wonderful." You don't hear football players say that very often after game. It's fun and wonderful to play on a team where no one cares who gets the touchdowns and no one cares about stats. That suggests that Josh Allen
pretty clear shot.
He did play a team where that did matter before last year.
A guy like Keon Coleman as well, getting his first. I mean, talk about fun and wonderful in terms of bright spots and futures. I just wanted your quick thoughts too on DeMar Hamlin and going to the defensive side. I mean, a tale of perseverance. 630 days ago, Monday Night Football against the Bengals, that cardiac arrest. Getting the pick last night. I mean, and this is a guy that since then has really grown into his own and now is a pretty important cog on that Bills D.
Yeah, he certainly is. And just on Keon Coleman, I thought Sean McDermott handled this. Just if you want to see a lesson on how to handle something that needs to be addressed, Sean McDermott goes in and at the start of his news cards, he's a guy, he almost has stuff written down. He goes through like 10 thoughts before he takes questions, kind of looks at notes. It's great. It's great. You really get his fresh thoughts. And then in that course of doing that, he said, because David Sanchez was texting me during the first quarter going, "What's up? Keon Coleman's not playing." And I actually hadn't noticed in the first half that he hadn't been out there because everybody else was catching the ball. And this is like second series of the game. He's like, "Where's Keon Coleman?" I'm like, "My goodness." And then anyway, McDermott came out last night and said it was an issue with lateness. It's been addressed. He didn't play for the first quarter. It's a learning opportunity for him, and we're all supporting him moving forward. Bang. That was it. And just a real, an illustration of how to handle that kind of thing. And DeMar Hamlin, DeMar Hamlin said it after the game last night. Just said it really plain. He said, it was such, quite, the experience, the interception. He said, because I think the last time I played on Monday Night Football, everybody knows how that went. I mean, it's a very simple description of what happened, but it was his first Monday Night Football game since that one in Cincinnati in January of 23. And, he talked, DeMar Hamlin was active for 5 games last year and played mostly on special teams. And I asked him about 3 weeks ago, once he had won the starting safety job, which he won kind of by default in training camp, and I don't want to knock it, just there were 4 guys in competition, really 3 guys in competition for the safety number 2 job, because Taylor Rapp is going to get 1, and the other 2 got hurt. DeMar Hamlin stayed healthy, and he's won the job, and now it's his job to maintain it. But I asked him, like, he talked about something like, the trauma and the fear that he'd faced last year, and I asked the question. I said, well, what gave you trauma or fear last year? He said, everything. Like from the start of, just learning to tackle again, learning to take hits, and he walked through how all of that was a process of overcoming fear and trauma. And again, maybe he'd spoken about that at another time when I wasn't there, but I didn't sort of have the understanding that he was processing that just one step at a time last season. And it was, you could feel it in the stadium last night when he gets his first career interception. I mean, he was primarily a backup. He was starting for Micah Hyde for most of that 22-20 into 23 season, but he was not a starter before Hyde's injury, and then you can see just the way his teammates reacted as well. Like you could see it on the sidelines, and they got something special going on there, I think.
I know you were busy with that game, but did you catch any of Jaden Daniels' show for the Commanders last night?
Only looking at the stats and going, wow. Yeah.
He was good last night, man. He threw a couple of darts, deep shots to Terry McLaurin. He can run when he needs to run. But his ability last night, what really impressed me, and you didn't see it the first couple of weeks, was when he got out of the pocket, he wasn't immediately thinking, oh my God, I need to scramble. Like he was looking down the field and making great. He looked incredible last night.
Well, it's starting to feel just, we're early in this, right? It's starting to feel like the Bryce Young, CJ Stroud thing with the Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels thing, right? There was, and again, it's very, very early, but it is amazing, when you go back to Stroud and Young and look at, how the way quarterbacks are evaluated now, and all the metrics and all the scouts and all of this, and yet, you still see teams get it wrong. And the other thing I think that we should talk about Jaden Daniels is that, we've seen, especially with guys that are handed the ball in week number 1, we've seen way more struggles and failures than we've seen successes. There was a time there where it seemed like, it's just automatic. You draft a guy in the first round, you hand him the ball week number 1. And almost to the extent that when you look at the examples of the teams that have not done that, Green Bay with Jordan Love, Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes. I always say you never, ever ruin a guy by making him wait, but you can sure ruin him by hurrying him.
Well, all we need to know then is that the Bears are going to get Andy Dalton to save the season next year. That's going to happen.
What was it? Was it Andy Dalton? There was a stat the other day about like he had done something that no other quarterback had done so far this season. It's like, of course, everybody had Andy Dalton for that.
Well, and this week, Andy Dalton plays the 0-3 Bengals, which would be the most fitting thing of all time if like the Bengals lose to Andy Dalton. Yeah,
Bengals 0-3. Now again, I didn't see that game, so I'm going to ask you this guy: how'd my guy Chase Brown look last night? He had pretty good. I think he was 7 for 62 carrying the ball.
Yeah, I mean, when they give him work, he does stuff with it, right? He really does. Yeah. So
I thought he was really efficient the week before, and I may have propped his name on an over prop last night. So there you go.
Well, there you go. Dave, appreciate the time, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, take care, guys.
There you go. That's Dave Naylor. Always good talking football with Naylor. Back to the Elks situation. We'll continue with the Elks conversation a little bit coming up just after 8 o'clock. But his answer was probably Trey Ford, but on a shorter leash.
Yeah,
which is probably the way to go. I mean, but we'll see. Should find out today what's going on there.
It really does separate camps, though, dividing families, right?
A quarterback controversy.
You're either one or the other. Right, it's
a real nice quarterback controversy.
It
is.
It really is. It's a good one to have. They're not the same. They're different. And again, how you stylize and go against the Bombers defense, especially.
As a company called Edmonton Sports Talk, quarterback controversy is right up there with goaltending controversy. You can't get any better. It's good stuff. Real nice stuff. But if you want to chime in on that, who would you start this week? MBT, Trey Ford. And if your answer is MBT to try and save the season, then what does that say about your Trey Ford opinion?
Yes, we talked about that yesterday too off air.
That's a real unique part of it.
You're looking for today and tomorrow in a sense. And where does VA all? I know there's a few Vernon Adams CFL trade deadline October 1. I think Lions say they're not going to do anything.
They're not moving VA. They're going to ride that out. But he'll be somewhere else next year.
For sure.
Where will he be next year? That's the real question. All right, let's get into weekly confessions for Spectrum Rental. I don't know if the boys sent in. Let's see.
They did.
Oh, there it is.
There.
It's always sitting there waiting for me. All right, let's see here. Weekly confessions brought to you by Spectrum Rental, where Rich confesses to probably be the only person in the history of street hockey to choose to be Craig McTavish back in the day. Rent a stump grinder and remove those unsightly stumps from your yard once and for all. Real good point. Who wants a stump? I get having a tree in your yard, but nobody's been like, hey, you should come on over, see my stump. Nobody wants that.
See my stump.
Get it taken away. Get it removed with their stump grinder at Spectrum Rental. So does that they just grind it right down into the ground, and then you would like put dirt over top of it? That wouldn't be. You're not pulling that stump out. You're grinding it down, right? I guess.
Maybe like the Flames, like inside, like down deep here, make it a hole down to the root.
Shout out to Rich though, over at Spectrum. Who are you going to be? Oh, I'm Craig McTavish. He was very efficient at both ends of the street, playing street hockey as a child.
It's like my brother and I.
Who would you be?
Joaquin Gage. We would be Joaquin Gage.
No.
Absolutely. What? I thought it was so cool. Black guy goalie. This is neat. Like, and we were kind of like, oh yeah. And we always like kind of going with not so much like star names and that type of thing. You'd always kind of look to the. So yeah, Luke and I would be Joaquin Gage at certain times on the driveway. I remember it.
That's
clearly,
hilarious.
Clear as day. And I've told Joaquin this. I professed to him.
I don't think I've ever heard this.
I think it's quite of a thrill. Well, I confess today that yes, Luke and I would compete to be Joaquin Gage.
Trev, who would you be when you played street hockey back in the day?
Growing up, it was always Gretzky.
Yeah.
And then the day, I remember the day the Oilers got the first overall pick in 2015. I went out with some buds to play some street hockey, and I was like, oh, I'm Connor McDavid. So it was either Gretzky or McDavid.
I love that when McDavid came in, you were still young enough that you were playing street hockey and pretending to be him.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Well, I was going into grade 12, so
yeah.
I was still a little weird. People were looking at me like I was just on the edge.
I was going in to grade 12, and I'm like, I'm McDavid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a little weird.
So yeah, that is a little strange. I think growing up as a kid, I remember being a lot of Timu Solani. There's a lot of Timu Solani in my street hockey games. A little bit of Eric Lindros, but a lot of Timu Solani.
Ooh, Lindros.
Yeah, Timu Solani. All right, confessions. What do you... I love 19-year-old Trev pretending to be 17-year-old McDavid. Right?
That's my confession. I pretend to be McDavid, even though we're the same age.
I'm going to be Connor McDavid. If you have a confession, lots of fantasy confessions out there, right? That's where this segment sort of came from originally. Send your confessions to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or you can send your confessions into the nasty chat as well. We can certainly get to those. And Lucas says you also were Ken Reggett.
Ken Reggett, yeah.
Yeah, Gager and Reggett. Ken Reggett was a beauty too.
That's a duo.
Yeah. Timber Woodsman says I was always Patrick Waugh or Brett Hull. Yeah, that's Patrick Waugh. When you're in net, I was automatic Patrick Waugh too. He was my favorite player. Any other confessions?
That was it.
Okay. I don't have a fantasy confession. It was an okay fantasy week for me.
Yeah, Daniel's on your bench in one league. You said, but even that's
but
not
I started Dak.
Who cares? Yeah,
so Dak actually ended up with one more point. So it's not, Dak had 33.86. This is the Wandering Cone Football League. Calvin's Johnson with a big win over Team Counting Crows. And I go to 2-1 in the Wandering Cone, which is nice. Mark Andrews is killing me.
Wandering Cone.
Yeah. I had Odunze on my bench. He had 23.4 points. Could have started him, but I got CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, and Godwin had an okay week. No, here's my confession. I said I was in 7-Eleven the other day, and I left, maybe not sad, but sort of like disappointed with the reality we live in now.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
Do you?
What neighborhood were you in?
No, I was over in Collingwood, okay. Collingwood 7-Eleven, coming back over to my house.
Because if you want a bike, I can buy one at my 7-Eleven. There's tons.
Bikes?
Oh, yeah.
Just sitting outside? No, it's not that. For me, I was sitting there, I was paying for a G0, and I looked and I saw the Edmonton Sun sitting there.
Oh.
And my God, that was sad. Like, I thought it was an insert. I thought it was like an insert into like wherever the real paper was. The Edmonton Sun is like 14 pages now.
What was on the...
There was like, there's 3 sports pages. There was a Mahjong article, an article taken from the Canadian Press, and one other thing. Like the sports page is like, I understand. I get it. It's 2024. And I guess maybe I'd stopped paying attention to it as it got dwindled down. But it's like a coffee news now. It made me sad. It made me sad. I was sitting there going, man, I get it. Like we're a perfect example of it. You know, the old type of media, the AM radios, the newspapers, they're all dying. But it still kind of made me sad to look at it and go, this is it? Like, this is all that we have now in this city for news in print form. Like, old people must be just devastated. Old people must be devastated. They must have so much more time on their hands because they don't have to sit there and read the paper all the time because it takes 2 seconds to browse through it.
The Nielson Show of days past used the Sun to its extent.
God, we love the Sun.
We had the Sun, the scantily clad women, the Yeg sun face. I mean, you would read just the stats. We would go into that on post-show shows and
remember
comb
we
through
would
there.
read
I had
stats on the show, yeah.
Not anymore. Did you pick it up, though?
No, I
just
didn't.
out of curiosity.
No,
factor?
I mean, I browsed through it as I was scanning my debit card. I was like, where is this? Yeah. Where is everything? It's yeah, it made me sad. It made me sad for where things are. I don't know why. Maybe not sad, but like a reality check almost. Be like, man, this is it now.
But again,
this is where we're at.
A generation where you woke up every morning and combed through that stats page, right? Like growing up as a kid, that's what you. That's what you did.
That's the only way we could do stat. I remember not knowing what the box score was of the Habs game as a child, and I'd have to wait till we got some sort of newspaper and open it up to see if they won and who got the points.
But reading it every morning, you almost had every standing in every league baked into your memory.
Yes,
because it was every day you'd stare at it, and
it was that was a tough look. I remember back at the old place, like 10, 11 years ago, when they first tried to stop the subscription. Remember they came? They're like, we're not subscribing to the Edmonton Sun anymore, and we were like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, we need that newspaper in the morning when we come in. Like, this would have been back in like 2011, 2012. And we pushed and we got it to stay for a bit. And then they eventually took it away anyway. But like now it's just nothing. It's just, it sucks.
I've just retweeted 4 Yeg sun faces on Twitter. What a beautiful hashtag Yeg Sunface. If you want a good,
an all-time run. The Yeg Sunface run was
Kent Austin
was incredible.
Don Iverson. Ooh, Bettman. That's getting a retweet.
Jasmine's in and says, my dad still gets the Edmonton Journal until this day. And I respect that. You got to get something. Scalding Gordon says, video killed the Edmonton Sun. Great song. The last paper I purchased was the one that they had the article about us in. I have a couple copies of that. Yeah. And both Journal and Sun. And that's it. Big Slam Nasty says, Dusty didn't have to buy it. It took 3 minutes to read the whole thing front to back. Well, it's true. I flipped through. I was like, do they still even have a sports section? And I flipped through, and there was Madajon had an article on Knobloch's training camp, I think. And I can't even remember what else was in there.
You used to have the stocks in there, too. NASDAQ.
So much stuff. You're buying and selling. So much stuff.
It's definitely sad.
It is, right?
Yeah, times are changing. It makes you think, like, how long do you think it is before there's no newspapers at all? Like, do you think that could be
less than 5 years?
Yeah, like that's definitely how it's going to go, right?
Well, no, you always got to serve to the old people until like our generation is like 65, 70. Then, I bet you newspapers last for max 15 more years.
Yep.
And then that'll be the end of it.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
That's anyway. Rest in peace, Edmonton Sun. Hang in there
to the print.
Hang in. Cheers to print. Brett near Lacombe says, guys, my confession: I got 44.1 points last week in my fantasy football league, and everyone I dressed finished the game they played in. Oh my god, that has to be one of the worst weeks I've ever seen in fantasy football. This is a good one. Hello, guys. I must confess that I started Frankie Hickson as my running back in my semifinal CFL fantasy league. I also thought that MBT was starting until Friday morning, even though he was announced 2 weeks ago. Signed, Scott McCord.
It's true. I have the text. He thought he didn't know. It was announced 2 weeks. It was the oldest. I mean, you were probably doing hits with him in the morning.
How?
Saying that he wasn't starting.
I'm calling him out tomorrow morning when I do my hit on the bear.
Thank you.
How do you guys have a guy in your league that doesn't pay attention to the Canadian Football League? I don't get it. I mean, your league's been around for longer. I get it. And Maddie, you've done great things. Our league wouldn't exist without your league. But at least our league has 6 people who are following everything that's going on in the Canadian
He pays
football.
attention at the start. And he got me in the tiebreaker.
I can't believe you lose to McCord.
He got me in the tiebreakers. That was the problem. I beat Luke. I beat Maddie. And now at this point of the season, I mean, he clearly doesn't care. Like he only goes, he stops at Labor Day, and then it's just.
The coach is in and says, guys, I sold subscriptions to the Sun door to door in 1976 before their first run. Man, can you imagine that?
That'd be hot.
We've got this hot new product launching. It's called the Edmonton Sun. It's going to have all the local news in it. That was your gig. That was a thing back then. I didn't have a newspaper route, but I filled in for a buddy who did one time.
Sears catalogs. Ooh.
Yeah.
30-degree heat.
Yeah, those things were big. Heavy. That was
a bad one.
Did you guys, do you have a paper route too?
Yeah. But then sometimes you get the catalogs. Like once or twice terrible.
That would be tough.
Yeah.
My buddy, the Brain, had paper route, and then he was gone for a week. So I took it over, and I could drive. I was 16 already. So I drove my truck, and I had my sisters take the newspapers out. And then I gave him a cut of it. And it worked out okay. Man, McCord didn't know MBT was starting.
Everybody did.
Or he wasn't starting?
The Bombers did, for crying out loud.
Unbelievable. All right, let's play a little kind of as weekly confessions for Spectrum Rental. If you have a stump that you hate, you don't want people to see, go rent a stump grinder from the crew over at Spectrum Rental and grind that stump away. All right, if you want to play kind of easy trivia today, we got a gift certificate. Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, smack dab in the final week of Mike Burger Madness. Got to take advantage of this. If you want to play kind of easy trivia today, text YouTube Trev right now. Let him know you would like to play. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. More on the Edmonton Oilers losing both halves of a split squad game. It doesn't really matter, or does it? It doesn't. But does it? Nobody knows. It might, but it probably
12-4. It's a heady scoreline. I'm just saying that.
You're right, though. If the Oilers outscore the Flames 12-4, it does matter. It's like, now we're like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Don't worry about it. It's preseason. If you want to play kind of easy trivia, text Trev right now. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We've got kind of easy trivia coming up in hour number 3. Gage, who Eric used to pretend to be as a child, he's going to be by around 8:35 today. We'll take a look at the early look at the waiver wire for week 4 in NFL fantasy as well. Lots to get to as we work our way through hour number 3 here on the Nielson Show. Let's get to an update for Claiborne Services. If you're looking for work, they're hiring you right now. It's that easy.
Oilers doubled up in split squad action last night by the Flames, 6-3 here in Edmonton and 6-1 down in Calgary. The preseason will continue tomorrow when the Oilers visit the Jets. They'll return home to host the Kraken Saturday night. NFL Monday Nighters, Josh Allen threw 4 first-half touchdowns. Bills cruising over the Jags, 47-10, improving to 3-0. Rookie Jaden Daniels, meanwhile, tossed a pair of touchdowns and rushed in another. Commanders 38, Bengals 33, dropping Cincinnati to 0-3. You can join me at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge Thursday night to kick off Week 4 when the Giants host the Cowboys. Smoked brisket cheesesteaks on special and your next chance at an NFL jersey. The following evening on Friday, join us back at Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Week 17 in the CFL, Elks visiting the Bombers. EST crew will be there, as well as the Green and Gold Kickoff Show with Maddie and Milne. That gets going at 5 o'clock here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Blue Jays season-ending 6-game homestand, starting with a 4-1 loss to the Red Sox last night. Series will continue later today. Shohei Ohtani watch, meanwhile, continues. He'll look to pad his stats later tonight when the Dodgers host the Padres. Ohtani currently sitting on 53 home runs and 55 stolen bases. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing they are an industry leader in safety. For more, visit www.claiborneservices.com or make it easy and call Jeff, 780-910-6728. Woo.
The nasty bash was awesome, so let's remember it with this song. The EST on Corey B. Tattoo still looking strong. 6:30 it wasn't working, so old Smash said so long. AM Nasty C and Frazier yelling, turn your headlights on. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tommy met a new girl heading out the door. Normology stripping, his shirt just hit the floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone pour me birdie booze on a shot ski. Now you know Reed Wilkins was a mystery. X-Ray J's pants got a little pissy. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. 6 o'clockers right and left. Let me pour it on your head. Moment we won't soon forget. Hey Norm, Fergie's back ribs let us in. Made the last table again. Wrote it out till 2 a.m. Oh Lord. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tommy met a new girl heading out the door. Normology stripping, his shirt just hit the floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone pour me birdie booze on a shot ski. Now you know Reed Wilkins was a mystery. X-Ray J's pants got a little pissy. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. Everybody at the bash was a nasty.
808 on the Nielsen Show. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. That would be great. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. And, of course, if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at edmontonsportstalk.com, just send the link to your buddies so they, too, can hop in on our static-free content every single day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We started with the Nielsen Show. That leads into the Hangout from 9 to 11, which leads into the Lock Shop from 11 to 12, which leads into on Tuesdays, 2 guys and a goalie today with myself, Cass and Gager. And then into EST Afternoons with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage. And then the Reed Wilkins Show, which has become my favorite show in the city. The Reed Wilkins Show with Glue Guy Jay Milne every day from 3 until 6. I'm telling you right now, and I know a lot of you listen in the mornings and you go about your business. On your way home from work, turn on Edmonton Sports Talk on TuneIn, on iHeart, at edmontonsportstalk.com. Hop in on YouTube. The Reed Wilkins Show is absolutely fantastic. And you're going to love it. I promise you. You listen once, you will listen every day. It's just that simple. It's that good a show. We got Joaquin Gage coming up just after 8:30 today. We're going to get into the waiver wire a little bit for Week 4 in the National Football League Fantasy. If you have any waiver wire questions, fire those over 780-218-9999. 3 questions too many. Kind of easy trivia. Trev's got us on that wide shot. You're loving it right now.
Yeah.
You're loving it. Loving it. Loves the wide shot. This guy loves the wide shot. We'll play kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's coming up as well. We are having some fun with this clip today. If you want to get in the mix, 6 o'clock hour, it took an absolute beating. This could be how you win text of the day today for A and W. If you missed it, Connor McDavid on that new Amazon Prime series. This was clipped from like the preview, the trailer for it.
That's not good enough. The finals. Dig in.
That's not good enough. It's the finals. Dig in. We've shorted it to...
That's not good enough. Dig in.
That's not good enough. Dig in. Send your that's not good enough. Dig in text messages to 780-218-9999.
See if you can beat VR Montenegro.
There's been a few really good ones. I've got a short list of, I think, 3 kind of cooking right now. But yeah, keep those rolling in. Get creative with it. Have some fun. Nielsen Show is presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. Visit their website, www.southfortchev.com, and put it in your calendar. Make plans. Pop by. We're going to be live at South Fort Chev next Friday, October 4th, for a little Oktoberfest celebration. We'll be set up there from 6 in the morning till 6 at night. Daniel and his family-friendly team will be trying to shoot us with Nerf guns. But if you come on out there, they will give you $1,000 extra credit on your trade-in vehicle if you tell them you're an EST or if you're an AM Nasty. So join us that day.
And more so if you do it all in German. Wouldn't that be something? You go up there and
exactly. Never took German there. We had the option. You could do French or German. And I went with French because they had Habs magazines in there. But that was really it. Marshall's taking a little bit of French right now. He's in grade 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Last night he said, bonjour, Je m'appelle Marshall.
I want him in a beret.
I was like, do you have to say Marshall like that? I don't know. Marshall in a beret would be pretty cool. Also, tonight, my daughter and I are racing. She's 7. She thinks she's faster than me. She called me out at the dinner table last night. She goes, Daddy, I'll beat you in a race.
Yeah, that's that hip-hop dance coming out again.
You're a 7-year-old. You're a 7-year-old. You're not beating me in a race. Then I look across at my wife, and I think Tammy thinks a little bit that Elizabeth will actually beat me in a running race. But I'm like, there's no chance. She's 7. So I'm going to destroy her hopes and dreams tonight.
Well, it's good prep for the Commonwealth show.
For our race eventually, yeah.
You
got to start somewhere. But if Elizabeth beats me in a running race tonight...
Are you going to Michael Johnson this one?
Don't you guys
Are you going to pull up?
I'm injured.
The hand.
That's what Tammy said. Tammy said, she goes, you're going to tear your groin. Well, I said, racing against Elizabeth for 30 meters?
Those hamstrings.
That's not possible. Well, I told her last night at dinner, Elizabeth called me out. I said, you don't think I'm fast? So I said, watch this. And I went out to the backyard and I ran as fast as I could back and forth across the backyard twice. And Marshall's sitting there. Marshall's looking at me and goes, Daddy, you're fat. I was like, I know.
In French.
Yeah. Oh, Daddy, je m'appelle quick. Trev, you look like you think my daughter might beat me in this running race.
No, I was just thinking of something funny.
I'm an adult.
When you win, that's not good enough. Dig in.
Me to Elizabeth after I smash her in our head-to-head race tonight.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
You know what? I probably will say that. Anyway, this is a big thing. I gave her 10-1 odds too. We bet on everything.
That's cool bet, boys.
So if she beats me, I'm giving her $10. If I beat her, she has to give me $1.
Just stretch.
I'm going to have to stretch before. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to stretch before. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Deaky Spark says, "Mwah, kiss those hammies goodbye."
You guys.
Your buddy pulled a hammy getting out of a chair for crying out.
That's true. That's
cautionary tale here.
No, but it's not. I don't have to run that. It's not that far.
And you did warm up yesterday. I guess maybe you're all.
Yeah, I went for a little walk last night even. Tammy's like, you going for a walk? I said, yeah. She's like, are you getting ready for the race?
Headband
on. I said, no, I just want to get out. It's a cool little night. It was nice. Anyway.
People are inquiring for tickets to this show. The race. The race.
I'm going to crush her. That's simple.
Where's it taking place?
She got to get put in her place.
Just for the neighborhood to see?
Well, that's what I said. Elizabeth goes, we've got behind our house, there's a green space in between. It's like a triangle with other houses. And Elizabeth's like, out back. I was like, God, I don't want to be like this father who's rushing and crushing his 7-year-old daughter in front of 10 other houses. But I guess I have to tonight.
Teach your lesson.
Sometimes as a parent,
fathering.
You have to parent. Simple as that. She learns her lesson tonight. That's not good enough. Dig in. But I honestly think Tammy thinks she's going to beat me, which really hurts my feelings.
Household divided.
It hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
Marsh has my back.
Of course.
Obviously.
Yeah.
All right. Who's playing kind of easy trivia today?
Today, Vaughn is going to give it a go.
All right. I wonder who Vaughn thinks is going to win the race between me and my 7-year-old daughter.
You better answer correctly.
If I come in tomorrow morning and you guys see me and I'm just and I'm limping and it's that would be the worst loss of all time. All right, let's go to Vaughn. Vaughn, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good, you?
I'm doing all right. Do you think I could beat my 7-year-old daughter in a running race?
I think it depends on the distance.
Okay, fair enough. Do you think I'm more of a longer distance runner or she is?
Oh, no, I'm giving it to the Muzz.
Okay, all right. Well, whatever. All right, Vaughn, you need to get 3 out of 5 here. Here we go, buddy. Good luck. I'll start the ticker after read the first question. Who did the Oilers lose to twice last night?
Calgary.
What position does Troy Stetcher play?
Defense.
Name one goalie on the Calgary Flames roster.
Don't know.
Who is the quarterback of the Commanders?
Jaden.
Which team lost to the Bills last night?
Which team lost to the Bills?
You got it. Don't worry, buddy. You're there. You got the 3. Vaughn's done it.
And he got it! That is why I did it! Another 5! Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am! Get it right!
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a peddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Ooh, you better believe that's a peddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a peddling.
The first year we took it to the limit. Take it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
It's 8:17 on the Nielson Show. Vaughn got it done. He's won a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever. Also celebrating 60 years of the most delicious burger of all time, the famous Mike Burger.
The madness.
You're invited to history for only $8.99 at Mike Burger Madness. Savor the original flame grilled Mike Burger on their signature garlic French loaf for limited time, dine-in only price of $8.99. Sides are extra. Is Mr. Mike's Mike Burger Madness. You'd be mad to miss it. Whoever came up with that, you'd be mad to miss it line. Well done. Offer ends September 30th. Eat locally, enjoy casually with our great partners at Mr. Mike's. This could be a text of the day right here. I think we've got a few texts on this McDavid clip today that could be text of the year material. Like, this is pretty good. I absolutely love this one. Well done, Nature Boy. Connor McDavid to Bob Stauffer while watching him plant trees.
That's not good enough.
Wow. That's not good enough. Dig it.
Hitting all the high notes on that one.
That was really good. It's McDavid. It's actually McDavid. It works in with stuff. Yep. I don't know if you know this. He planted trees one time. So that's pretty funny.
Hadn't heard.
That's pretty funny, actually. I like that one. Nature Boy, well done. Keep those text messages fine in today. Somebody, I think, legitimately asked us, who do we think McDavid was yelling at? And I'll just say this, the group, as the captain, they lose 2 games. I don't think he was yelling at one person individually. He would have been, are you guys excited for this? Where are we at? Trev, I saw you. What'd you say? Meh?
I said, honestly, meh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, a few people are saying, like, you need to watch this, was what I saw on Twitter last night. But I love videography. I love cinema. And I just wish they would have taken a different approach to this kind of, teaser trailer. I wanted a more, like piano riff in the background, like slow-mo approach to it, but it's just like action-packed, and so it was a little bit too fast for my liking. But I like it when they slow it down. That's what that's what would really intrigue me, I guess. I'm still gonna watch it, but I'm gonna be pretty critical on this.
I'm with you on the trailer because it's what's the saying? It says something and off the record. On the ice, off the record, off the ice, off the record, whatever it is. We'll have to look that up. But then they came in with like 90 seconds of just hard-hitting hockey highlights. And I was just like, wait a second.
We've seen that before.
We understand this. I thought they should have got right to the guts of it.
Like Rock'em Sock'em.
At the beginning.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, like the Nylander clip at the end, you could have started with that.
Yes.
And he would have been like, oh, this is interesting.
You hook them right away.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I'll watch it, and we'll see where it goes. This guy says, Pagnotta broke down the episodes on Twitter. It looks like we won't see the Oilers until episodes 5 and 6. So we'll keep tabs on that.
Well, we didn't see Ferrari, right, till later on. You go through Haas, you go through all the rest. Then you get to the big boys.
Yeah, give you a little sprinkle of the different teams and then focus on it. And that's where this all comes from, obviously. Formula One has still done it better than anybody else, I think. And we'll see if the NHL can match this. And at some point, if the Canadian Football League could please do something similar, that would be terrific.
CFL Films.
All right, let's get into 3 questions too many. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment today?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he can't wait until the 8-episode, 2-season debut of the Park Mazda docu-tell-all.
They got to have one.
Gets released. Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
Got to have one.
Well, no, I mean everybody can do one now. You can do anything. Yep. You could document somebody selling papers, for crying out loud. I mean, you follow them around, the tales, the tribulations.
The newspaper, the Edmonton Sun,
anything. But I mean, a car dealership actually. There was that one show with that one comedian working at that tire place that was pretty good.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah,
it's
and
called
I know
Tires.
the Ricky. Who's the pitcher there? And Will Ferrell plays the car dealer.
Oh, yeah, Ashley Schaefer.
Yeah. So you could take that and make it its own show.
Down.
But my car dealerships, you kidding me?
I would
the mechanics in the back, the salesman.
I would be in for 10-year, 8 episodes per year Ashley Schaefer show.
Yeah.
100%. The fact that it hasn't happened yet makes me think Farrell's just too busy.
But like a Mitch Lewicki biopic?
I like it.
Give it to me.
I think it's real nice. Do you have a Twitter account?
@Lieutenant_Eric, where I've retweeted a bunch of those #Yag sun faces, but I also like to follow YouTube Trev here for his season-ending goodbye season, farewell season of the
farewell
Sports
season.
Social Club.
Yes, it is YouTube_Trev. You can give me a follow. I'm going to be keeping you guys, up to date with what I'm doing with my final season.
He announced today it's his final season at Edmonton Sports Social Club. It was big news in the 6 o'clock hour.
It was huge.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
How many events will you be taking part in over the farewell season? One a week? Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and it goes for...
When's it end? It seems like it goes quite a ways in the spring.
Yeah, well, so I think it's just 2 months.
That's it?
Yeah, but it's just because I was doing, season after season last year.
Oh.
Yeah, so
so you did like 5 seasons last year?
Whoa.
I think it was like 4 seasons.
Yeah, because this morning when you said, I've been in it for 15 seasons or whatever, I was like, wait a second, you've only lived here for like...
Yeah, it's not that long.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're going to be done by the end of November?
Yeah, right around there.
Wow. I was not ready for how quick this was going to go.
15-season vet in a year, hey? Like, it's kind of...
Oh, man. All right, Trev. Well, good luck, man.
Thanks, boys.
Anyway, give him follow his journey. YouTube_Trev. By the way, changing 200. And if you're watching right now on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up. If you want to use thumbs up to turn the other season around after 2 losses to the Flames, do that on YouTube. All right, here we go.
Changing 200.
There we go. Question number 1. We kind of hit on this just after 7 o'clock, but guys, how long do you think the others can wait to address the depth on the right side of the blue line?
American Thanksgiving. Oh, it's always the cutoff point, right? I mean, that's when things get serious. Talking about the preseason and telling us not to worry and everything and everything. American Thanksgiving. We'll know by then.
Well done. That is the first official American Thanksgiving reference of the 24-25 season. You got to love them. That's a good one. I will say, I'm going to say it goes until the deadline, if not dictated to be sooner due to injury. Can I put an asterisk on my deadline announcement?
We discussed injury earlier today with the...
I'm going to say the deadline, the blue line remains the way it is until the deadline. Asterisk, if there's an injury, that might speed things up.
It does feel kind of like a wet paper towel trying to hold up a glass, in a sense. Like one domino falls there, and you really got
group got to stay healthy.
It's
here.
pretty paper thin.
You like that blue line to stay healthy. I think that's for sure. I got pretty excited when Naylor was like, I wonder if they fire Doug Peterson if they lose to Houston and go 0-4. That could instantly up the value of the investment.
Then you don't have to go down there and take him out yourself.
Here I am.
Save you a trip.
Living my best life. Question number 2. Guys, who do you think will be taking the first team reps for the Elks today?
Trey Ford.
I think Trey Ford as well. But it would make no sense to announce him as a starter. Well, first of all, he probably shouldn't have done that anyway. But announce him as a starter 2 weeks before a game against the Bombers, and then all of a sudden he doesn't start the next game. Like, I'm just thinking, I got time for an MBT start this week. I do.
You can make a case for either.
100%. You could definitely make the case that MBT starts this week, and I'm not going to say you're an idiot. I'm going to say, you know what? Fair points.
Sure.
Because, maybe MBT does provide a better opportunity to beat the Bombers this week. But from an organizational perspective, to announce Trey Ford as a starter 2 weeks out of the last game, and then to not have him start the second game after that, that's mixed signals if you've ever seen them. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
And arguably, again, losing last week to put you in a spot now where, still in the mix. However,
you have to have this.
You do, but you had to have last weekend. So now you...
Who do the Riders finish with? Let's see.
It's they got one against Calgary. They're here, obviously, on the 5th for the big chili cook-off.
Edmonton Sports Talk presenting the big chili cook-off at the tailgate. And it's going to be a great time. If you have a tailgate spot there and you're not in on the chili cook-off, you got to be in on that. That's going to be a good time. Okay, so the Riders get the Red Blacks this week.
Chili cook-off game after that.
I think the Riders beat the Red Blacks, and then they get the Elks, have to have it. Then they get the Lions. That'll be a big game for both teams.
From Regina, they finished 2 at home.
That is in Regina. And do I have that game? I think I might have.
And a sorry Stamps team to round it out.
And then the Stamps. Yeah. Ugh.
You needed last week, and now I could understand now you're focusing more so on the future from an Elks point of view.
That's the thing. And it's straightforward the rest of the way, no matter what.
Yeah. Unless you're in the VAJ camp.
Could Vernon Adams Jr. be the starting quarterback of this team next year?
He could. I think there are some out there that maybe want to see that, or perhaps think that might be the case, but who knows?
Oh, well, let's just ask Elks fans then, because we know you love Trey Ford. He's still a young quarterback. He's had 14 career starts.
Yeah.
He's still a very young quarterback. Some of you do like MBT, and he's a very serviceable Canadian Football League quarterback. I think that's fair to say. But if you had a choice between Trey Ford as a starting quarterback for the Elks next year or Vernon Adams Jr., what would you take?
And maybe it's not this organization's choice either when it comes down to maybe Trey Ford makes a decision. And that could be, but you're right. Purpose of the question, asking the fan base, who would you want?
Calvin C. says, guys, I'd rather have an unsuccessful season and find out if Ford is the answer or not going forward. And if it's not, I'd go all in for VA next year.
I think most people would.
That might be but then you have to figure out what you got in Trey Ford the rest of the way.
Yes.
And that's why I didn't like when they pulled him last week, because that's a spot where you're down 7. He just screwed up. Let him see how he bounces, or let everybody see, including yourselves as an organization, see how he handles that situation.
But we did go into the week saying, hey, Edmonton could finish first in the West. And that's the temptation there. This is the season of seasons where everybody's
NBT
in the mix.
Goes in, yeah.
Everybody's in the mix. So you do have that temptation of, winning today or winning tomorrow.
Woo!
That's the...
I love a quarterback discussion.
Oh.
I love it.
We're in the thick of it.
All right, question number 3. Guys, when does the behind-the-scenes documentary of EST get going?
Oof. Gotta get the tape rolling.
Yeah,
we gotta get that black and white security camera rigged up.
That would be nice. I would love to do something like that. That would be a lot of fun. We're just all so busy right now. That's it's not like we almost need
you need
another person who doesn't
party,
somebody who's completely off the air and completely doesn't produce. Yeah. And then that's their job.
Fully on
they
it,
do a bunch of other social stuff, and then they handle the behind the scenes EST. Now, will we just go raw on that, or do we kind of script it a little bit to make it funny? What would you said you have a love of cinema?
We'd script some of it.
Yeah.
Like if we did a trailer, we'd probably tease that, but and then do some funny little things.
Yeah, something like that would be fun. And then when controversies pop up around here, you dive into it a little bit. Like the Jerky Gate would have been an episode. There's all this type of stuff.
Yeah, just cue this the slow music and just a single shot of Gage just looking not at the camera but beyond the camera. I didn't know that it would come to this, something like that. And then just show Maddie, we could just his background or his voice in the background.
Yeah, his
yelling,
voice in the background.
this is not okay. Something like that. Oh, we could have a lot of fun with that.
That would be pretty good. There's a lot of different things that would pop up here. You know what? I could see us getting to a spot like that eventually.
Well, apply today if you are in that
as we continue
business.
to grow.
Matt at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Right?
Yeah.
Just Gager, I didn't know what I was doing by just grabbing a piece of jerky.
Yeah. I didn't know that it was going to lead to this.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then it cuts to shot of Tommy sitting in the other chair eating jerky.
The jerky. So good.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, that would be fun one day. I think that's something different. And I think that would be kind of cool.
Zach vacuuming.
It's like a weekly episode that drops.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Zach vacuuming, and this is not good enough.
Dig in.
Yeah.
We do need a good vacuum around here.
We do.
So, the only time to vacuum now really is after 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Right? Because somebody's always on the air now. So, plus I don't know where the vacuum is. It's in here? It's in the closet?
I think it's in there.
With the Whale and Wolf boys?
With the boys, yeah.
Oh,
get them to do it.
But Zach told me last time he thinks it's going to blow up next time somebody uses it.
Well,
we might need to get a new vacuum.
Smoke when it was.
Yeah, it's not good.
No,
it's not good. Yeah, no, I think we could get there one day, but probably not right away here. All right, Gager has Gager connected yet? Did we send Gager the link? Gager usually connects at 8:15. Anyway, we'll connect with Gager hopefully. talk some Formula One, talk some Oilers. We got to get to the waiver wire. Early look at the waiver wire here. I know a lot of you be putting in your waiver wire claims today. We'll definitely get into that. And the wrap still to come here. And then the hangout from 9 to 11 today right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Let's get to an update. If you're looking for, you know what? I might have to go get a new bed. Tam and I have been looking at a new bed for quite some time. We're thinking of becoming a king bed family. We've been a queen bed family for a long time. Everybody says all the rage is a king bed because then, like, when I move, she doesn't get woken up and that type of thing. I might have to go to sit and sleep.
Spread eagle yourself, eh?
I might have to go to sit and sleep to get a nice, comfortable, larger bed. She's been wanting one for about 4 years, and I'm always like, "Oh, let's wait on this. Let's wait on that." It might be time to just step up.
I feel good after the big race too. Probably a new.
Imagine sleeping in a nice big bed after the big race against my 7-year-old daughter tonight. That would be great. Anyway, sit and sleep's got you covered. Let's get to an update with Lieutenant Eric. Gager's on the other side.
Oilers preseason continues tomorrow in Winnipeg. The club will return home to host the Kraken Saturday night following last night's pair of losses to the Flames, 6-3 here in Edmonton and 6-1 down in Calgary. Josh Allen tossing 4 touchdowns in the opening half. Bills crushing the Jags 47-10. Buffalo now 3-0. Jane Daniels, meanwhile, tossing a pair and running in another. Commanders 38, Bengals 33, dropping Cincinnati to 0-3. Join me at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge Thursday night to kick off Week 4 in the NFL. It's the Giants and Cowboys. NFL jersey up for grabs, as well smoked brisket cheesesteaks on special. Friday night, you can join the EST crew at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for Week 17 in the Canadian Football League. Elks looking for revenge as they're in Winnipeg to take on the Bombers. Kickoff at 6. The Green and Gold Kickoff Show with Maddie and Milne gets going at 5. Shohei Ohtani looking to pad his stats later tonight. The Dodgers back on the diamond when they host the San Diego Padres. Ohtani sitting on 53 homers and 55 stolen bases. Meanwhile, the Jays' season-ending 6-game homestand starting with a 4-1 loss last night to the Red Sox. That series will continue later tonight. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payment for 18 months, interest-free, and be entered to win your purchase up to $5,000 on furniture and home decor next to Planet Fitness in South Edmonton Common.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
$8:34 on the Nielsen Show, presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Check them out, www.southfortchev.com. Drive a little, save a lot with our partners at South Fort Chev. We got the wrap coming up. We're going to take a look at the waiver wire for week 4 already in the National Football League. But Joaquin Gage pops by on the show this morning. And Gage, of course, every single day, 1 to 3, right here with Hernan Salas, EST Afternoons. Great show. Make sure you check it out. It leads into the Reed Wilkins Show from 3 to 6 later on this afternoon. Gager, good morning, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good, boys. How's your life?
Oh, we're doing all right. I found out today that he used to pretend to be you when he was a kid. I did not know about this before.
Really? You didn't? I thought everyone did.
Who did you pretend to be as a kid?
I hate to say it, but I think it was Steve Shutt coming down the right side.
Oh, no way.
Leather Buck, and of course, Fiersy.
Grant Fuhr between the pipe. Was Steve Shutt? Nice Steve Shutt drop, Gager.
Yeah, no, it's who was I talking to about this? Just having the I would switch over to the French broadcasting as a kid. Sometimes,
I used to watch that all the time.
Yeah, it was you, I think. Yeah,
well, I grew up watching like from
the Habs.
Yeah, like from 87 to 95, I guess, when we maybe moved into the city and got cable. The only way I could watch the Habs, really, unless they were like playing the Leafs, was on the French channel. So I watched a ton of French hockey as a kid.
Yeah, and the Nordiques, I'd always want to watch the Stastny brothers play. Like they were dynamic and phenomenal. So yeah, I think I had a little bit of a allegiance to some of the French teams.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. I like that, the common connection. The Edmonton Oilers lose to the Calgary Flames. Are you ready for Hernan Salas' first major breakdown of the year? I'm assuming when the Oilers lose twice to the Flames, it's not going to sit well with your co-host, buddy.
There's a lot of hard alcohol in the studio that maybe we'll get Hernan just to mellow out a little bit. I'm going to bring some calming tea. So he doesn't completely. We got to save some for the regular season, I think, Dusty. That's what we have to do most, because if there was a reason for Hernan to blow up, maybe let off a little bit of steam, maybe a slow pressure cooker, and see what he has. I can't wait. It should be an exciting 1 to 3 episode today.
When do we really start to dive into the right side of the blue line here? You think, Gage? You're getting looks at Stetcher and Brown, and briefly at Emerson already too. It's preseason. You don't want to be overly concerned, but this was kind of the one question mark coming into the year as well.
Tomorrow, I think, we'll start. I want to see them against the Jets in Winnipeg. This is where the split squad game is it's interesting, obviously, to see who's playing where and what they want to see, but. Yeah, I mean, the Oilers got spanked in 2 different arenas last night, right? By a young team that, the Flames look good. I watched mostly the game in Calgary, and they were fast. They were executing, and the Oilers looked a little bit like a step behind. I know it's preseason or whatever, but you feel with, especially where we're kind of focused on, and that's the defensive side of the puck, with especially on the Oilers' defensive right side. You're not worried, but there's question marks now. You'd like to see a little bit more, maybe asserting themselves a little bit better in those areas.
Gager, we talk about Hernan, but you were on fire in the group chat last night as well, spouting off the opinions, PTOs and weather. You did have a Pronger comparison as well for one particular player, albeit maybe on the more negative side. I mean, just thoughts on that. And again, preseason, we're all overreacting in a way, but I mentioned to Dusty too, if it was 12-4 aggregate the other way, we'd be overreacting in the opposite. So what is kind of your level here heading into, again, the meat of the preseason here, and where do you stand confidence-wise in this group right now as a whole?
Again, that was more for my colleague, 1 to 3 EST Afternoons, Hernan Salas, just to calm him down a little bit, right? So, and he could see the thumbs up that he was giving with some of those. Those were just jokes, guys. But I think they were appropriate at the time, just to cool things off. We don't need a Connor McDavid yelling at us quite yet. Not just
yet. I said you did watch the game in Calgary more so than the one here in Edmonton. Any thoughts on Arvidsson and Skinner?
There was a couple flashes. It seemed like 2 guys that were just feeling it out. I want to see them in a real setting with Leon, right? That's kind of what they were penciled in at the start of camp or before they started skating. So I want to see that, and then playing against regular NHLers. I think those guys were to me, it looked like they had it in, one or first or second gear for most of the night, maybe even neutral. But no, I don't put a lot of stock into how they played. They're both. We've seen what they've been able to do at the NHL level for years, but it just looks like a couple guys kind of feeling the game out at the earlier stages of the year.
First or second gear is a perfect transition over to Formula One racing.
If I might as well.
Go ahead.
The Rats continue to jump ship here, Gager. Tim Hraney, Red Bull head of strategy Will Courtney has signed with McLaren F1 team as their new sporting director.
Are people taking people from Red Bull because of all the success they've had, or are people just leaving Red Bull because they don't want to be a part of it anymore?
I think it's a little bit of both, Dusty, don't you? I mean, the whole controversy at the beginning of the year, Jos Verstappen yelled, like I saw this meme of him yelling in the garage from the beginning of the year, and kind of people trying to read lips and things. I don't know. I don't put tons of stock in that, but there was a lot of friction there. And I think the fact that you have the big dog, Adrian Newey, with so much success at Red Bull, as soon as the rumors were that he was leaving, everyone else said, well, what's the point? He's one of the big key pieces of that Red Bull team. And even you watch Christian Horner's interviews, and he doesn't have that same bravado that he's had over the last few years. Obviously winning helps, but it looked like the constructors was well in hand. Who knows what happens with the drivers? I mean, if Lando keeps going, and they say that with this new Red Bull car over these last races, they're going to struggle at these types of tracks. So I think it's just the rats are leaving the ship, going to greener pastures. I think there's something within the internal structure of Red Bull that people just maybe don't like anymore.
There's no debate right now. McLaren has by far the best car on the circuit, right?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, there was the little thing on the wing. It looked a little bit too flexy. But the FIA has talked to them. But not only is their car great, but I think they have the best tandem in F1 right now with Piastri and Lando Norris. Like, Piastri's just, he's in his infancy in F1, and he's making regular guys that have been in the sport for a long time look quite ordinary. And I think that's kind of the reason, all the success of these young drivers, I think, is the reason why. I mean, there's constant rumblings. That was Daniel Ricciardo's last race, right? So yeah. But I just think Colapinto and Behrman and Liam Lawson, all these guys that have acquitted themselves really well in their rookie kind of seasons and things like that. I think that's the reason why you'll see Liam Lawson in that seat next week or in a few weeks, because these rookies are hitting it out of the park and putting points on the board, right? So I think it's a point where Red Bull's like, well, let's give this guy a chance, and because we need the points, we'd like the VB card or whatever to somehow get back and hopefully salvage what was kind of a disappointing season where they thought Ricciardo would be able to help Yuki Tsunoda in that, I want to say, middle of the pack.
Do you think that's the end of Danny Rick? Have you ever seen him pop up again?
It's got to be.
I'm surprised we saw him pop up again already, right? So I love it, but I just don't see it happening again.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see the Daniel Ricciardo anymore. It's just, he's talked, like, you could see it in his emotion afterwards. I think this was kind of talked about before. I don't even know if it depended on this race. If he did well, he would stay. It looked like this was his last race. He just hasn't performed like the old Danny Rick. They talked to Nico Rosberg, who was I'm surprised he was in that at the end of the NHL promo for that Prime video. I don't know why they had Nico Rosberg. But he asked him the question, do you regret the decision to leave Red Bull, right? And he was like, well, hindsight's always 20/20 with your career. And if you look back at, that was a huge mistake, because right when he left was the time that Red Bull really started pushing Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes and becoming the most dominant car ever.
Well, with Danny Rick, at least he got to go out with the fastest lap in his final race.
Yeah,
it's kind of a fitting way. It's kind of nice. Like,
not only the fastest lap ever at that track. So
was it the fastest lap ever at the track?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he still got it. Maybe he still got it. Who knows?
Well, he said if Max does win by 1 point, he'll probably get a really good Christmas gift from Max Verstappen.
Well, probably not from Max, but somebody else will give it something to him. Yeah, I don't think Max gives Christmas gifts. Max wraps a bunch of presents under the tree for himself. That's probably how that one works.
It'll be a Latifi gift giving all over again, or something like that.
Pretty much. Hey, Gage, before I let you go, one of my confessions earlier in the show today was I saw the Edmonton Sun recently at 7-Eleven, and there's really nothing left anymore, and it kind of made me sad. As a former Sunshine boy yourself, do you too get emotional when you see what's not left really of the Edmonton Sun?
Yeah, it does. Probably it would be in your best interest to go and try to find a few copies of that, because my picture's probably worth way more than those Trevor Lawrence cards that you have.
Dude. Whew. I'm already dead. Already dead. If only I had a good investment guy that could help me.
I can help you out. The thing is, you guys were talking earlier about stats and looking at them. Like, that was the lifeblood, right? You didn't watch the game, but you wanted to see who scored, things like, and from every league. Like, I was looking at I remember BC Junior, WHL. That's how you got your stats. And there's something like romantic about grabbing a paper and going to the stats page and looking up your favorite players as a kid and seeing how they did the night before. It's it's unfortunate that kind of era is done, but hey, who knows? With maybe we'll start our own newspaper at EST. Bring it all back.
That does make sense. Let's get a printing press. Let's get on it. That's a great idea. Great, Gager. That's all we need. More stuff to do around here. Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect.
All right, buddy. We'll see you later.
Awesome.
There you go. That's Joaquin Gage. He will be in on Two Guys and a Goalie today at noon. And then obviously coming up on EST afternoons with Hernandez House and Joaquin Gage. Tommy Gazzola the morning after his birthday. Unbelievable.
Looking spry.
Yeah. Fresh? Yeah. You have a good time last night? Yeah. Reed took you out for a beer. I can't believe Reed went for a beer. God, he is the best. Like I said earlier, Reed Wilkins. You got to check out the Reed Wilkins show, man, from 3 to 6. Their show is already more technologically advanced than our show.
The PM Nasty.
Like, they're playing clips, they're running graphics. I'm like, damn. Yeah, step our game up.
We'll get it up there. I'll do this.
Are you going to crank it up?
This. Yes.
Listen to Trev. This is that Trev Zacticum rivalry.
Yep.
Challenge on.
I love it. Let's do it.
There can only be one.
That's true. All right, hey, let's dive into the Southport Chev waiver wire. Nielson Show waiver wire targets brought to you by Fantasy Football Freaks out of Southport Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Southport Chev. Check them out online. www.southportchev.com. I wonder what platform Southport Chev uses for their fantasy football leagues. I hope it's Sleeper. I'll have to find out. Go see Daniel and his team in the fort. They'll give you $1,000 extra credit on your trade-in as we take a look at the waiver wire. A couple of names. So, Juwan Jennings. This is the problem. There's always these, and I could be wrong with Juwan Jennings.
Did I hear right that Huss had him, eh? Is that?
Oh, yeah. Huss had him in DFS, though.
Okay.
Hey, did you see my tweet last night, that sad Jags fan that I said, this is a alternate universe where you got to go look it up.
Yes.
You got to go look up the picture. It's an alternate universe where Huss became a Jags fan. And it's just this guy who kind of looks a bit like Huss, and he's got like a Trevor Lawrence wig on, and he's just so sad. I thought it was funny. Huss replied with a laughing emoji. We'll discuss in the lock shop today at 11 o'clock. But it's kind of funny. Anyway, Juwan Jennings is interesting. You know in the league with the Nefarious Nine? Tell me that doesn't look a little bit like Huss. In the league with the Nefarious Nine, I'm now 2-1. But none of us had. That's a 16-team league with 9 players on your bench. None of us had Juwan Jennings. He's available. He's going to be on the waiver wire this week. The problem is that you missed the big game. Right? This happens now.
You're chasing the dragon.
That's it. Is that not a drug saying? Is that a drug saying?
Well.
You're chasing the dragon. And that's what's going to be. I still pick him up, but you're chasing the dragon. If you're a Debo owner or somebody like that, you're really chasing the dragon. But Juwan Jennings, a guy that I traded live on the lock shop last week, has to be up there too. Bucky Irving. Tampa Bay Bucks. He is 34% owned. 34% owned. I'm not sure what platforms that's on, but anyway, on average, he's 34% owned right now. I traded Bucky Irving last week for Trey Benson. Trey Benson is my handcuff for James Conner. I know I was giving up more potential in Bucky Irving to become the number one guy, but if James Conner went down and Bucky Irving hadn't become the number one guy, then I'm screwed because I didn't have Trey Benson. So I traded Bucky Irving for my handcuff, Trey Benson, which sometimes you have to do. But Bucky Irving should probably be picked. Bucky Irving should probably be about 80% owned right now. So I'd probably put more of a priority on Bucky Irving than Juwan Jennings this week. Braylon Allen would be the other one. The Jets are working him into their offense.
Mm-hmm. We had him on the wheel here featured as well.
Yeah, Braylon Allen is 100% being worked into the offense. Those are the top 3 guys. Outside of that, not necessarily a super strong waiver wire week, but I love all 3 of those guys. Juwan Jennings, Bucky Irving, Braylon Allen would be some guys that you would look at this week. Waddy in Cloverdale's in and says, Zacticum going hard after that sophomore of the year esting. Oh, man. We could go sophomore of the year. 5 years from now, we're like, fifth year member of the staff of the year. That'd be kind of funny. All right, that's your waiver wire for Southport Chev. Daniel, Southport Chev, if you're listening, I think Claire gave you my number. If not, I have yours. I'm going to text you. I want to find out what platform you're on. I'm trying to get everybody to move over to Sleeper. Sleeper's a very good fantasy football platform. And this is not a... I'm not being paid by Sleeper.
Yeah.
It's not an endorsement.
Is a new investment for
No, this is not. Sleeper's very, very good. It's better than CBS. I like it way better than Yahoo, especially from a commissioner perspective. ESPN's still okay, but I think Sleeper's kind of like the Cadillac.
I liked the ESPN.
ESPN
four-door sedan. A printing press, the new investment that comes in from Red.
A printing press.
That would be.
I did think
right
during the pandemic to buy. I was going to buy one of those T-shirt presses, and then I was going to start making hilarious T-shirts.
That would have been.
That was something I thought about during the pandemic. I still employed. Like we were at the radio station still.
Just even having one at your own disposal.
Yeah,
I mean that would be a hell of a.
Would that not be great to have one of those things? And I always wanted to try it, where you push it down, you go, and then you lift it up, and your shirt's just made. It's just there. But never follow through on that. But that would be fun. I think that would be pretty good. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, WilliamHuff.com. Bruce and the team, they've been doing it since 1952. So I almost said 72. Sorry, Bruce. 1952. That's how long they've been doing it. And they're the best in the biz. They're absolutely everywhere. I swear to God. I'd go to Europe.
Swear to God.
I'd walk into Europe. I'd see a William Huff sign. It's ridiculous.
Le Huff.
Raider Jesse's in and says, there's absolutely no reason to not be on Sleeper, especially with Dynasty. Agreed. Sleeper's very, very, very good. What did we learn on the show today, boys?
Dan Campbell's home address was publicly leaked on social media by his daughter's classmate of all people.
Now, did she do that by accident or did she do it on purpose because they're not friends?
Well, and that's just it. But there was a lot of it was on the I think it was on Snap.
You could probably get the answer to that by just knowing what grade they're in.
Snapchat. The grade hasn't been doxed.
Has
the residence was.
What's doxed?
It means your documents are like publicly put out there, so like an address or information like that is kind of.
Oh, really?
That's
I've seen doxed pop up on social media lately, and I was like, I don't know what doxed is.
Fear not, though. Campbell says our fans are unbelievable. Nowhere I'd want to be other than the team I'd want to coach for.
But he's got a new house.
Blah. Oh yeah.
Do you think that his daughter didn't like their old house and used her friend to dox them just so they'd have to get a new house?
Well, and they're selling it a 7,800 square foot Bloomfield Township residence listed last week for $4.5 million. So maybe this is their way of flipping homes. Hey, wouldn't that be something?
That would be something.
Daughter gets a little cut.
Quick turnaround. Yeah. Quick turnaround. I like that. I learned today that it's the beginning of the end.
Yeah. 15 seasons.
For a wonderful dynasty for old B Rabbit over there. What's up with the toque at the hoodie and I had the hoodie? Are you cold?
I just felt like doing this.
Are you cold?
That would be funny. Yeah.
That's what I learned today. It's the beginning of the end for Trev's Edmonton sports social career.
Yeah, and I'm just going to join an indoor soccer
That's
league instead.
Because you almost played college soccer.
Yes.
We learned that today, too.
I got the nod, but it would have been hard to make everything balanced just because the program you took it. I don't know if it was as hard as it wasn't hard.
It's a pretty busy program.
Like it's very
busy program.
So, yeah. And I focused on my career, and I'm happy I did because look where it took me, right here.
Now you got a few more time in the evenings to hit up a little, maybe a 6 o'clock lager, eh? From Alley Cat.
Oh,
a couple more beverages from our great partners over at Alley Cat with the
water
6 o'clock lager. All right, let's get to your sound of the day today. Well, I mean, it's pretty simple what the sound of the day today is. We'll give you the whole bit first.
That's not good enough. The finals. Dig in.
That's not good enough. It's the finals. Dig in. We have shortened it too.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
That's not good enough. Dig in, which has led to a number of outstanding text messages today. We're talking Tommy Rubella. We're talking VR Montenegro.
Heavy hitters.
We had one that came in earlier today that didn't even have a handle on it, and I saved it. That's how good it was. I gotta find this guy. We had a lot of text today.
Just now, Belgoni says, I prefer Excel as a fantasy site.
Excel.
I mean, that's
a classic.
The ballers
CFL.
know. Yeah.
I love it. The real ones know.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we say? All right, let me find this guy's number.
Unsigned, was it?
Yeah, no, it was. Maybe did he send in a handle after or something? And
could have.
Did you change his name?
Maybe.
Oh no! I don't even remember what the text was.
Jeez. Do you remember the
I wrote
nature
down
of
his
it?
number, but now I can't find it.
It was the nature of
Trees.
What's that?
Bob Stauffer digging.
No, I've got that
Nature
one.
Boy.
That was Nature Boy. Yeah, we must have updated this dude's name. Dang. Do you remember a name you put in today?
Was it Marcus?
Was that one? Did you put Marcus in today?
I think I've updated him. Who else here? I could probably,
Marcus,
if I go down the list, I could.
Marcus.
I don't think he had one. Matt Hyman, McDavid yelling at the equipment manager over dull blades.
No.
Hustler Joey Chestnut's hype man. Tommy the Gage outside the arena. Man, Matt Hyman was sending it a lot. You don't remember the nature of it, hey?
No, I can't remember what it was, but I remember having a very good,
Clearly
funny
not that
laugh
good
at
enough.
it.
I mean,
yeah. Well,
stand the test of time.
It doesn't matter in the end anyway, because Nature Boy's winning.
Nature
text
Boy's
of the day
getting
today.
it.
Nature Boy's winning. Yeah, Nature Boy's winning text of the day today. Text of the day will get you a gift certificate to A&W. If you haven't tried this yet, we're not going to lie to you. We're not going to send you someplace and you're going to be like, guys, this sucks. It's the teen burger, but with your Ruffles, cheddar, and sour cream chips, all combined into one unique taste. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. You can also have the Ruffles Crunch Buddy Burger for just $4.99. Try one today, your neighborhood A&W. Congratulations, Nature Boy. You got Nature Boy in there?
Got him.
Text of the day. Brilliant stuff. Next level thinking. Connor McDavid to Bob Stauffer while watching him plant trees.
That's not good enough. Dig in.
Just hits it.
That's not good enough. Dig in. Too good. Too good. That's very well done, sir. Very well done. If you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up before you leave. I would turn on autoplay as well. I'll take you right on over to the hangout today with Tommy Gazzola. And make plans to join us Friday night. You're going to be there Thursday night.
Yep.
For the Thursday nighter.
We're living at that casino.
And then Friday nights, a little EST watch party for a huge game. Man, if the Elks can pull that off, they're back.
Well,
baby.
but do you want to win today or tomorrow, right? Is it this your country or next year country?
Well,
right,
yeah,
at this point?
I still think it's this year country.
Well, then.
If you lose to the Bombers on
starting
Friday
night,
it's
just,
I'm saving my official
it's
quarterback
the great
start
divide.
until Awana gets back. I want to see his face.
I am thinking as well, our October 4 show, I might just rent a room at the Century.
Because we're up in Fort Sask.
Why not?
It's not a bad idea.
Stay the night.
You always
stay
have good
and play.
ideas.
Isn't that what they say?
Our October 4th show, well, we're at Fort Sask.
Yes.
So you're just going to stay out.
Why not?
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. And then we got the Elks and Riders the very next day.
Next day. And then the battle of also the Huskies. I mean, again, football, this is it. Chili cook-off as well, Saturday, October 5. Make plans. Beans in.
Yeah, I just like chili with like sauce and
just
beef.
Meat and sauce.
I just like
meat sauce.
Basically, if I was in charge of making chili, it would be ketchup and ground beef on a bun.
Well,
you think
hell of a show today.
Do you think I'll win?
You should actually show up with that.
I should.
Why not? Piss, I walk off somewhere.
It's ground beef and ketchup.
No beans.
No beans.
No beans.
Nothing. And seasoning salt.
Lots of seasoning salt.
Tons of seasoning salt. People are going to be like,
what?
Do you like my chili?
Hot enough for you?
All right, so what's the prediction for the race tonight, boys? Me versus the 7-year-old.
Somebody says your leg is about as tall as her.
Yes, I know. I'm going to destroy
walk
her.
this thing.
I'm
going to
destroy. Now, with that being said, she's a fast little bugger.
So her steps per minute.
She's like a little twinkle toes.
Yeah.
She goes. She's quick.
It's all about do we trust those hammies? That's the.
I'll just stretch out here a little bit. Oh, I'm wearing my nice Nikes today. These are comfortable. These are really nice. I forgot that I was wearing these. I thought I was wearing my. But when you're an athlete,
well,
you got to wear your Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
But that hurt. I'm not gonna lie. That did hurt a little bit. I'm in pain right now. Eric, can you please remove my foot from the desk?
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Anyway, the Muzz is going down tonight. More details on that a little bit later on. All right, fun show today for YouTube, Trev, Lieutenant Eric. I'm Nielsen. Stick around. The hangout's coming up. Lock shop today with myself and Huss. We'll be looking ahead. Early lines, CFL, NFL. Poker tonight. I become an online streamer, poker player tonight.
Bounty.
$100 bounty on my head. come and get it. Download the poker software at coolbet.com. Join us tonight, 8 o'clock, for the second event on the Lock Shop Poker Series. Should be a pretty exciting time. And we said earlier, if you've not checked out our new afternoon content here on TuneIn or iHeart, you're missing out. 2 fabulous shows. It's nice to have fresh voices in the afternoon in the city. Hernan Salas, Joaquin Gage, Reed Wilkins with the glue guy, Jay Millen from 3 to 6 as well. 2 phenomenal shows.
Couple winners as well in the hangout today. Taylor Kitty from The Amazing Race, the champions.
Oh,
the winners.
Yes, I watched that final episode. It was incredible.
Kevin and Green.
Yeah, well, I heard they were brutal.
Well,
anyway, I'm gonna go get some
the
dirt.
full detail now. Yeah.
On a day I become a poker streamer myself, never seen such a thing. Have a great day. Talk to you on the Lock Shop.